Hello, everybody.
We're live.
Welcome back. We are live, and yeah, I got Lauren here.
Hey, everybody.
We got Becky and Daniel, two other instructors, with us here today.
You gonna show 'em? No.
We also got Dennis.
There they
There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Sorry, I
So-
was adjusting the audio. You're too
audio.
loud.
David's too loud.
Well, that's nothing new, dude.
No, it isn't.
That kind of goes with the territory. Oh my God! Don't make me nervous.
Oh, sorry.
We have 100. We figured it out. We have 150 years between us of
Wow.
gaming experience,
Wow.
and
That's a lot
we're
of
about to
years.
sort of rant the town. So we're gonna go back to the beginning.
Why did you go
Which-
gesture toward me?
I know. Back to the beginning because Becky was here.
So what's our
Becky opened a few properties.
Yeah, right? How many years?
47.
47. Daniel, how many years?
35.
35. I'm 29. soon.
Yeah, 31.
Damn.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a
And
lot
we
of
look,
years.
we look every year of it. So today we are going to, and remember it's G-rated, PG-rated. We're gonna rant because we want to be monetized. It's every video is a
Don't say
cash
that
grab.
word. You can't say the damn word.
Oh really?
No, we can't say
Oh
that.
no, that's it.
Too late.
Well, it is too late. Hey, can you bring up my slides? You got to go make a call right now, dude. What's
Yes,
going on? We're losing our technical support here. I don't understand. All right, so we are going to talk about Vegas. So the idea of this show is it's old Vegas, new rants, and
like
these are new rants updated for the ages.
Okay.
So we have a few, quite a few things going on in Vegas that's impacting sort of old Vegas.
Okay.
I think old Vegas is coming to an end.
It is.
Definitely.
In some ways.
It's already ended.
It's gone.
Right?
It's,
By the way,
yeah.
I don't even have your slides. You never shared them.
Oh, I didn't share my slides, dude. Well, that's
That's on you.
That's a defect, dude. That's a defect.
sharing
You're
them
supposed
now.
to turn me on every time, dude.
So,
He does such a good job. He turns on my my audio thing,
yeah.
and I stick it right,
Oh,
in.
right there.
Oh yeah. He's got to turn that one on, man. And so everybody's asking me,
Is that the kind of podcast this is going to be, David?
Is
that
did
we're
Dennis
getting right
turn
there?
you on? And I'm like, oh yeah, he turned me on. All right, so here we go.
Well, I mean, if you're going that direction, then Dennis turns all of us on.
No, that's true.
Yeah, he
I was telling Becky I was gonna be the youngest person here, and I was gonna talk about that a lot.
Uh-huh.
But sadly, I forgot Dennis is here. Oh God. And he's both younger, thinner. He's got more hair. Although Becky has most of her hair, so that's good. And you're doing a great job keeping your hair there. Yeah, fantastic. Good for you, man. Alex, not so much. Alex, hey buddy, how you doing? Gotta
Poor
throw that
Alex.
out there. Poor guy.
I know. I was looking back on some of those old roulette videos.
Yeah.
Putting some stuff together.
Dude.
Oh my God, he had hair. There's so
In
many.
one
of them.
year.
His hair is
In 1
so
year.
thick. 1 year.
Just
He
literally
was like,
fell out, dude.
Stress
He might need to check that shampoo label. It might be something else
I think
working
he's
through
using
there.
Nair by mistake.
I know. Holy crap. All right, so this should be a lot of fun. This show is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go through us. We've all had a lot of different experiences. We've all grown up. I think most of us are from Vegas, basically. All of our experiences in Vegas. So this is going to be Vegas-centric for the most part.
Yeah, I have a few years in Laughlin before I came
Laughlin.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, pre-Vegas. Becky has started in Vegas. I started in Vegas. Yeah, so most of us are coming from Vegas. All right. Before I get there, I shared the slideshow with you? We're going to go down these really quick, okay? We got a few plugs. We got to get them out of the way. I'm going to go them down very quickly. What's his name? Dennis is bringing them up as fast as he can. But the first one, of course, is don't forget we're an actual dealer school. We have a brand new site, CEGDealers.com. The site's been there, but we just recently updated it for the ages. So a lot of new information.
And it looks good.
It looks
you did
great.
A really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. We narrowed it down. We focused. There's not so many pages. It's not as much information, but it's all the important information. And what we really want you to do is you can sign up online, come into the school, come talk to one of us, take a tour, because that's really, you got to talk to us. We got to know who you are, know what your expectations are, help you move on as far as that goes.
Yep.
On to the next slide, because we missed that one already. Dennis is playing catch up a little bit. It's okay, but there it is. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's go down to the next one quick. And we're just going to go through these really quick. Ready?
Okay, keep going.
Keep going. Okay, so the next one is shopcasinoquest.com. We have our whole store is online. We've already switched to Shopify. And then, can I scroll down? Can they see the next one? Oh, can you just
look at that.
Look at this. Wow, he is so
He's
good.
so on top of things.
He's so. I don't think it's not gonna work from here, dude.
Why not?
I know.
Is it? Oh, I don't know.
No, it's not gonna work.
All
I
right.
don't know
Well,
what's
you
going
can see
on.
us down in the corner. You'll just have to look at this while
Well,
we're talking.
hold on a
until
second. I
until
don't
Dennis
want
comes
it
back.
to be stuck on that one. Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Don't trip all over all those cords over there, though. Okay. It would be a disaster. A disaster.
Yeah, here we go. I don't
Okay.
think it's not even working. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Okay.
you did it.
Really?
Yeah, it changed and then it went back.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dennis!
This is the boomers trying to figure out
I
the
know. Don't leave it
equipment.
out on that one.
All my grandkids.
Here's the boomers trying. Get Dean. If Dennis isn't there, Dean knows out.
Get the
Really?
grandkids.
Yeah, Dean.
All right.
Okay,
Is everybody
so
still hanging out?
David's gonna be over there
I'm
trying to
boomering it
figure
up.
out the slides, and while
Yeah.
he's there, I'll just talk to you guys. How's
Perfect.
everybody doing?
Yeah, this isn't working.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god. It's
Oh
just
my
left here on the
God.
screen.
We're stuck.
All right, here, you talk.
Okay, David's going to get There's so many D's. Dennis, David, Dean, Daniel. So many D's. It gets confusing for, me. Although my mom used to call me by my brother's name all the time, and our names don't even start with the same letter.
That doesn't make any difference. I in the day that happens. You start calling your kid with the wrong name, and
Yep.
you go through the whole list. I actually called my son by the dog's name.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
All right,
We're back.
Dennis is back to save the day. So let's get those slides going, and then we'll get him out of the way so he can go do
All
what he's
right.
got to do. Okay.
Here we go.
Look at that.
All right, so the next one we have is crapsy.com. So if you want to work on your strategies, work on your crap plays, come to crapsy.com. Then, of course, CEG Dealers, casinoquest.biz if you want to book a reservation here at CasinoQuest, or we have Dice with David. You can play roulette with Alex, etc., etc. Then, of course, don't forget Vegas Tycoons, a brand new YouTube channel that we have where you can follow all the action. And now let's get to the show. Wow, that was a bit of a debacle.
Yeah. It's
okay.
still on Crapsy.
It's still on Crapsy?
Yeah. It's not working for Dennis either. Maybe
Yeah,
it
no.
wasn't just because you're a boomer.
See?
Huh.
I was
Who would've
saved,
thought?
buddy.
I
All
go
right.
with boomer every time.
Yeah, Boomer's easy. Well, that was a terrible...
Yeah, that was bad.
Hope you guys are still
We'll
with
do better
us.
next time, hopefully.
I mean, every time is this constant hurdle.
All right.
You ready?
He's not. Yeah, I'm ready. Are you
Are
kidding
we
me?
moving
I've been
on?
ready for this for a week.
I mean, I have my slideshow. So off the slideshow, Dennis?
I mean, here.
New Vegas,
New
old rants.
Vegas, old rants.
There we
Okay,
go.
go to the next one. Go to the very next slide. Actually, the very next slide after that. Here we go. All right, so this is a basic rant list. We're dividing this up between sort of the local rants and then the casino rants. So I figured we separated because we've all been locals. We all live here. We all have things to talk about. And this is kind of off the cuff. So I made it so that no one has researched.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to just roast organically. It's going to be an
I wanted
organic
to know what
roast.
the topics were going to be so I could get some really good stuff together.
No.
Gee, wouldn't you?
So here, let's start with we can go on with rents. Who's paying rent?
Rent.
Yeah, rent. Ugh, ridiculous.
Or buy a home. Buying a home.
Oh,
I know.
Not
even
outrageous
worse.
Anymore.
Either way, did you
Yeah.
see the girl that just her rent was raised $680 or $90?
Oh my God.
Yeah, she went to Channel 13, and actually they put it on the air, and the landlord or rental company, whoever it was, came back and said, "Oh, we're only going to raise it to $380."
That's still ridiculous.
Yep,
still ridiculous.
This is crazy. Where
Yeah.
do they think everybody's going to live?
No,
Because
I don't
they
know.
can't- They're not making that much money.
No. Minimum wage has gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
And some of the places now, post-COVID, right, because they can't hire people, they're having such a hard time, some of those places are paying a little more, $13, $14 an hour now instead of just $9 for like fast food jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still,
They haven't raised it enough to be paying $1,700, $1,800
No.
for a one-bedroom
No, it's ridiculous.
Most employees in a casino make $15-16 an hour. There is no way they can live in an apartment like that.
Not by
It's
themselves.
impossible.
No, that's right.
No. Even with help. I
Yeah.
mean, that much is.
Yeah. And I've been looking for a place to buy. I've been looking for a condo or a townhouse or something like that. And not only are they already overpriced, because they're already overpriced,
Because they're already overpriced.
but every place I've seen that I like that I want to put in an offer, I'm getting outbid every time I turn around. Outbid,
yeah.
outbid. People are coming in with cash offers. People are coming in with what's called an appraisal gap, which is if the house you want appraises for say $250, but you have made an offer for $275, you got to come up with that extra $25,000 in cash. So, and that's what's happening now. It's ridiculous. It's
Somebody
ridiculous.
was telling me yesterday about somebody who had put their house on the market for $175,000,
Yeah.
and the winning bid was $230,000.
I believe it. That's
Yeah.
what's going on now.
Who bids like that?
Yeah, that's what's going on now. Everybody knows, right? I haven't been here. I've been so busy waiting to move, looking for a place. I'm still looking, everybody. Still haven't found the place.
Oh no, I've been looking
It's
for 6 months.
I
awful.
don't think I would buy now. It's dangerous. The market
Well, that's
is
true.
inflated so much. Everyone's
Yeah.
saying it's going to drop again. The last time it dropped, anybody that owned homes had a huge problem. It was terrible.
No,
That's true. It's like
that's true.
2008 all over again.
Yeah.
It is.
So
Yeah.
what do you think? You think that it'll drop? You think
It's
it'll
got
come
to.
back?
People can't afford
Can't
this
afford
stuff.
it. They've got to be sold, and for now, we're getting a lot of people from California that are willing to pay huge prices for
Because
homes.
it's still slightly cheaper than California, but that's why all of those people are coming here, because it was much cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
right.
not cheaper anymore.
Nope. When I moved into my house, it's a 1,600 square foot townhouse. It was $119,000 I paid for it. Very easy. Any dealer in town could afford to buy a home. Really nice.
I'm going to guess that was about 20 years ago.
Yeah, about 25 years ago.
Okay.
And
Yep.
we looked at it on Zillow, which tends to run a little high. It's $316,000 today.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I believe it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
No, rents are up 27% for the year across
Yeah.
the board. We
crazy.
were trying to look originally for apartment for Dennis, and what we found was it's an average 2-bedroom now is something like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Plus they want to charge you amenity fees.
So that's a starter
Yeah.
home for a brand new
Yeah.
family.
100%.
$1,600 a month.
Yeah.
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 That used to be the thing here in Vegas is rents were cheap.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
most part.
It's what
Even
brought
though-
Not
people here.
anymore.
And
No,
you
not
could
really.
have a pretty decent job. So I lived in Garden City, Kansas, and guess what? Rents were cheap there too.
Well, yeah, they're probably at $5.
Yeah, but there weren't the jobs. I mean, I was managing a theater for like $10 an hour, right? The great thing about coming to Vegas is I was able to make 35,000-40,000 back then,
Right.
and have a $600 a month apartment, 2-bedroom, nice sized apartment,
Right. Right.
And I lived at Las Palmas. I lived on Paradise. Where Gordon Biersch and
Oh,
where
yeah,
those
yeah.
are, and they
Yeah.
used to come with utilities. That whole area was so close to the Strip. In fact, that used to be the thing, right? Is if you were a dealer, you were able to live pretty close to the Strip, pretty cheaply.
Right. That's
Even
right.
even right behind
Yeah.
some of the look in the Mirage parking lot, right? Or so they have these
I know
apartments.
dealers that live in that development there, and they just walk across to work.
Can you move that mic up a little higher?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy what's going on.
So I
Crazy.
think that's like the biggest rant that most people have
Yeah,
now.
The first house I bought in this town, 46.5.
46,
Wow.
400.
No.
No,
No.
46,000.
How long ago, Becky? Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
50 years
Wow.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I've
Yeah.
bought a little bit over that. So.
Yeah, and it was much
crazy.
easier. They made it very difficult now, especially if you're a dealer. Sadly, they don't like to use dealer toques. They'll take 2 years. They want 2 years of dealer toques of you working as a dealer before
Yep.
they start using it as your regular income.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Which is, if you work as a floor supervisor, by the way, you get credit first day. Just 1 day of salary.
Because
you're
supervisors
in.
are salary and dealers are tokes, and
Yeah,
it
but
tokes
most
vary
make
so
less than
much.
the dealers do,
Oh
so.
yeah. and
Right. But it's consistent income.
Right.
So there's the difference, the consistent income.
But I mean, it's so silly because you could work out the dealer tokes over 10 years, even at the Cosmo, you can average it out. I
yeah,
mean,
well,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
And it's still a good
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've never had to like,
What?
not make a living. There's never been a year where it went so low
No,
that you wanted to
no. No, not at the Cosmo, but
No.
I'm sure there's casinos in this town where it has gone so low that those dealers need to go out and find second jobs.
Well, I do think they need to rewrite those rules a little bit for dealers.
They've
You know.
always been discriminatory
Yeah.
against dealers. I
Yeah,
remember
100%.
when a dealer could not get a loan under any circumstances. There was
Right.
no way you could get a home loan.
Well, way back in the day when we were all on envelope and everybody's getting their money in cash,
Yeah,
I
then-
mean,
That makes sense. But nowadays, it's all reported.
it's all reported.
You can go back however many
Right.
years and figure out exactly what dealers make. So I think that's
right.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
I also think that my rant, I have a rant with that too, with the Bureau of Labor, where they only account, they call being a dealer, casino dealer, one of the lowest jobs you could have.
Yeah.
And because they don't account for any of the tokes.
Right.
They only account for minimum wage. So if you look on there, and when they index the job rating, it's very low.
Right.
It's as low as working for, like, let's say a Denny's, which, that's a fantastic job.
Well, right.
Because everybody wants to. Can you imagine free pancakes forever, Laura?
Free pancakes forever?
I mean,
Oh my God!
do they give them free
I'm fat
pancakes?
now,
Anybody at
David. I
Denny's?
can't imagine if I got free pancakes forever. I'd weigh twice as much.
But yeah, so they don't account for the toke, which is silly. That's ridiculous. Dealers work for tokes. That's part of the parcel. Because Cosmo, literally one of the worst jobs.
One of the worst jobs.
Well, I mean, that's not true. But
Right.
but just strict data. The data says, you know what I mean?
The pay and everything else.
Yeah, they do, because they don't
Nobody
include
makes-
tokes.
Pay-wise, nobody
Well, no, if they don't include tokes. However, now your
Mm.
tokes are taxed and you get everything on a paycheck.
Yeah.
So when you look at my tax return, everything's on there. Like I can't, 20, 25, 30 years ago, longer than that, you just claimed what you wanted to claim.
Oh.
You could have
I
a
wanted to
five-
claim 0 back in the day.
But you could say you could have a $500 day and tell the IRS you made
Yeah.
$20.
We're
You know,
going to
and
talk
nobody
about
knew.
that. I want to, when we get to the casino park, so hang tight, everybody, because once we get over the local stuff, we're going to get to the casino stuff. We're on to the casino stuff. I knew we would go off track, but that's fine. All right,
We
so
always do.
My one anti-rant is that, holy crap, my house has gone up in value quick.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But if
True.
you sell your house, where are you going to live?
Well, that's
You're
it.
just screwed.
The only reason to sell your house in this town now is if you're moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like out of the city.
Yeah, out of the country.
Out of Vegas.
Yeah.
Because you can't, unless you have to upgrade in some way,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna sell your house for way higher, but you're gonna have to buy a house that's way higher.
And
too,
the
so.
rents are just, I mean, I don't understand the whole rent scenario. I don't know where they got it in their head. Because, I mean, and that's true. The California people or people from out of state coming here and inflating these rents they're just getting what they can. And there's no rental protections here.
No,
No, there's
we
not.
Year to
really
year.
need to have some kind of rent control.
There are
in
very
this
few
town.
companies involved in renting in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was when we had that recession where all the values dropped,
Yeah.
they came in and bought all those condos.
Yep.
people
The companies
Yep,
did.
they
and
bought
put 'em
so
together
much
and
property.
made
Yeah.
rentals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have this huge rental market, and they don't care. They know there's a ton of people here looking
Yeah.
for homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been brutal. I would say that's the rant on everybody's mind.
Everybody out there, stop renting these damn expensive apartments. Maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah, but where are
Yeah.
they supposed to live?
Yeah, fight back.
You
You
know?
can live at Lauren's
Well,
place.
well,
She's
Come
got
on,
it.
the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Put you
Yeah, I know. You gotta.
Everybody can have their little thing.
Everybody,
right.
everybody can come live at my house, and I'm moving in with David.
So my next rant, because I quite literally have been hearing this more and more, because food inflation is now taking hold.
Yes.
The other thing that
Yes.
was great about living in Vegas, the food was cheap, and not just food you bought at the grocery store, but eating out
Yes.
was ridiculously expensive.
No
$1.
more.
I used to have 99 cents. Remember Arizona Charlie's when I worked at Gold Coast on the way home? At first it was 69 cents. Then it went up to a whole 99 cents. Remember the graveyard specials if you got off like on swing
Yeah.
shift?
Yeah.
And for $1, it was
Oh, yeah.
pancakes and orange juice for $1.
No, we figured out
Pancakes and orange juice. I remember a ham, steak, and eggs for $1.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
when I first came here, we figured out you could eat 3 meals a day for $10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially if you work swing, when you got off swing, Binion's had a steak.
Oh, the
They'd have a
best.
steak, baked potato, salad, and a beverage, I believe. Or
Uh-huh.
we had to buy
Yeah.
the
And
beverage
it-
or something,
yeah.
but it was like $2 or $3, something.
Yeah, it was
like
$2.99.
$2.99.
Not
yeah.
that I've ever had it.
Yep.
first time
the
I ever-
Plaza had breakfast for 99 cents.
Right. So
Yep.
many places. We came to Vegas. I came with some friends of mine back in, I'm going to say, '87, maybe something like that, '88, and we found down at the Golden Nugget they had a steak and all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet for $1.99. It was a steak, and it was
That's when
it's hard to
That's
screw
when
up
the
a breakfast-
prices went up. It was $1.99 before
yeah,
that.
$1.99
Yep.
in the
What year are you talking about?
87, 88 ish.
I worked
So.
at Golden Nugget when they.
So yeah, but it's not like that anymore.
No.
It is not like that anymore.
No more cheap food. No more free food.
No, I was just telling David, my
Yeah.
son is here from out of town, so we went out to lunch yesterday with a couple of friends of mine that know him well, and we went to Cheesecake Factory. 3 of us, $135 was my bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. For 3
Today,
people.
I took my other son, both my sons, and the second son's all his kids. There were 7 of us, but we just went to the Lumberjack. I didn't think that was a high-end restaurant personally. $195 I ended up paying.
Wow.
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 No,
Yeah.
it's such a foodie town now. Even local places
stupid.
are outrageous. We went to a local pasta place that's always been known for being affordable. It's not affordable anymore. Everyone's going for because they can. The place is packed all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So you figure you can keep as long as it stays packed.
That's right.
Why can't you raise the prices, right?
Even
Yeah.
fast food places. I went to Taco Bell a few weeks ago, and there's like certain standard things that I order, right? So I generally know how much it's going to be, and it was like almost $3 more for And I said, man,
Taco Bell?
for Taco Bell.
That I
for
believe.
my order, right? And I said to the girl, I said, damn, your prices went up.
Really?
She said, yeah, they did. I said, well, did you get a raise then? Because I don't mind paying a little more if they're going to give their employees a raise, right? And she was like, no.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
They used to have
if
the
you'll
commercial.
notice, so many people started eating out when the pandemic was going on. They went through this whole thing, helped save
Oh,
the restaurants
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything, and everybody started eating out.
Yeah.
And it was just like they took advantage of it. Oh, you're going to come here every day?
Yeah.
Let's raise the price.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you were a restaurant and you had to close down you missed out. If you had to close down to a pandemic, you missed out on the post-pandemic boom.
Right,
when it
if
came
you
to
were not
eating.
able to reopen.
Because now
Right.
you go to restaurants and you can't get in. Places that didn't even take reservations before now take reservations.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't even squeeze in.
Yeah.
It took us 3 months to get to Nora's.
Really?
know,
To
3
get a
months.
reservation over there?
Not reservation. You used to be able to just pull up, get in. I mean, there was
Yeah,
plenty
yeah.
of seating. It was never an issue. Now you have to call weeks in advance.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's been absurd. I mean, lately, I think it's been this last week. Vegas is pretty quiet. This is where they have all the specials. Not a lot going on.
Right.
So we were finally able. I was like I pulled by on a lark, and voila, got a table.
Wow.
It was fantastic, by
Wow.
the way. I got to post that review. They did a great job. They have
Nora's
Nora's great.
Yours
Scott's
is
a
good.
great.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the food rant. So congratulations to all the foodie centers. So for all of you that like Emeril Lagasse, who, man, I like his oven, but dude, his steakhouse, oof, pass. There's that. We won't ever get.
Is there a restaurant called The Oven? Emeril Lagasse's Oven?
No, I love his oven, dude. He makes this toaster oven.
Oh.
That's upgraded. It's like a
Oh.
ridiculously
You're talking about
expensive
a
toaster
restaurant.
oven.
Got
But
it.
he has a restaurant, a steakhouse
Got
here
it.
in Vegas.
Got it. Okay.
Me and Dennis went there, and we were just not excited about that. That
okay.
did not go well.
Okay.
But yeah, so a lot of foodie stuff. But man, $25 hamburger, all this has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just raised. You can't eat anywhere affordably.
$25 hamburger in a casino is a deal anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
let's be
True.
honest.
That's
it's
true.
so expensive.
No,
here.
100%.
Yeah.
Because the catch is, that's now. We'll go to now.
Gordon
later.
Ramsay though, that burger, oof, that was good. I gotta say, I never thought in a million years I would be like give a thumbs up to a $25 burger, but holy crap, it was good. It was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Just the experience alone. I got to have a little taste of Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
Hey, buddy. We're like an innuendo channel. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people
right.
out there going, you go, Dave. All right, so here's the interesting thing. We were talking about, who did I have in my car the other day?
Me.
About the dirt roads. So we were
oh.
talking about it when I first moved here. The only 2 roads that went west far enough was Sahara and Charleston. DI didn't even go that far past Rainbow.
Right,
It pretty much
right.
died.
Flamingo,
There was no
anything-
Rainbow into Sunset and Russell.
Right.
And when
No,
when you went past like the we were talking about like all the businesses that used to like abut like Desert Inn near the strip, like Crazy Horse 2, for example. and then they built the overpass, and then all the cars no longer went by Crazy Horse.
Oh,
so
right,
Crazy
right.
Horse was literally right behind the strip on Desert Inn.
Okay.
Which a lot of dealers used to get, a lot of people used to get to work if you worked on the strip. And then on the way home, voila, there was the Crazy Horse 2. You could go pick up a beer and get beat up and it's what.
A beer and a blowjob? What? I mean,
You had to go there. Now that's
Isn't
it. We're
Crazy
out.
Horse is
Oh
a
my
strip
God.
club, right?
Crazy Horse is a strip club. I was gonna
Like,
say
what are you
like
getting
a
at?
black eye is what I was gonna say,
Oh,
Lauren.
yeah, okay.
A black eye.
Okay.
But then they
better.
did there goes we're screwed. Well, there goes the over ramp. So then they built the over ramp, kind of screwed over all those businesses, and then everything out there that we see now, it's only 30 years old. I mean, it's really nothing. There's not much out there that's
Yeah,
older.
No.
I live
Right.
on Fort Apache in Spring Mountain, generally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In that area, when I was a kid, I used to hunt out there with a
Yeah.
22 rifle.
Wow.
It was
All the
nothing.
time.
Well, there's nothing
Absolutely
out there.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what cracks me up about when people start talking about the snow they get in Summerlin. It's always snowed up there. There was nobody living up
Right,
there
Yeah.
before.
right.
You know, that's the side of the frigging mountain.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That's true.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty.
So still perpetual development. It's never gonna end until they fill up the whole damn valley. Which is I got to figure out where some of this development is going. Some of the housing has actually stopped because of the lack of supply logistics, supply chain, stuff
Yep.
like that. That's
Right,
affecting
right.
everybody.
yeah.
But interesting. All right. Well, okay.
Well, and because of all of that growth, I lived in LA back in the 80s and early 90s. I lived in LA, and the traffic there is ridiculous for anybody who lives in LA or has been to LA. Traffic is horrible. And one of the reasons I left LA was to get away from the traffic.
They came with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
See,
now it's
That
like
was the
LA
other-
traffic.
Do you know? I first come to town. I go into the Stardust. Remember the Stardust? I walk in there. I'm playing some game, and there's a dealer there and telling me how exciting it is because they live on the other side of town. It only takes them 20 minutes. They love Vegas because you can go from one side to the other in under 20 minutes. You can't even go down Decatur in 20 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like 3 or 4 blocks some days.
Yeah.
It's nothing like LA, but it's definitely much more
it's-
congested.
Getting
When I-
there.
When I first came here, they had just started building the 95. The stretch of 95 went from Las Vegas Boulevard to Martin Luther King. That was it. That's all they
Wow.
had
That was
done.
it.
Yeah.
I was there when they
Yeah.
built they used to have stoplights up to 95 into as it got to Craig. It was a road
Right.
where they had a stoplight there.
Yeah.
And then they I watched them literally remove the stoplight and build the the overpass and that type of thing.
on which highway? On which freeway?
95 on
90
Rancho.
See, and the same thing. I remember
Or
the
Craig.
same thing on
Rancho
the
and Craig.
215 when they first built the 215.
Yeah.
It was stop, and now it's not so many
I
until you get
remember
way up
before
north.
it was here at all.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Craig Road was
Yeah.
a two-lane
Like I
dirt
said,
road.
the beginning
Yeah,
with
I
Becky.
remember.
The
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
70.
Yeah, traffic is ugh, and that's
right.
one of the reasons I left LA. I hate the traffic.
All right, so let's talk about new transit, old transit. New transit, old transit. So one of my rants that I have is that Vegas hasn't spent enough money on new transit to make up for a lot of the congestion, a lot of things that are going on. All we have for West East is a DI expressway, not much of an expressway. Everything else is the loop.
Right. Right.
But the loop will take you forever.
Yes.
So we have what do you think about, we got Elon Musk building a tunnel. We got no above light rail. They were supposed to work on light rail a long time ago. They turned that down 3 times
Right.
now.
Right. We
And-
still have the same old bus system. It was,
Same bus system. We just
Oh
have more
no,
buses.
it was much worse.
It was
okay,
worse.
but
It
we
was
have
much
more
worse.
buses, but it's a bus.
Yeah.
We don't have a subway. We don't have, there's
No.
no faster, easier way. The monorail they built. When did they build the monorail?
And it's funny. We had someone call yesterday about the monorail. So we were telling them how fast could I get from the Bally's walking to here, and we said about 20 minutes. From Bally's to
okay,
here walking
okay. Yeah,
at a
maybe.
casual pace,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes,
Uh-huh.
because you got to go over the overpass. You can't just beeline it. And then he's like, well, what if I take the tram? We're like, well, maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Because you got to go.
Yep.
You got to go back.
You gotta go back.
out, and
Yeah,
then
and
you
then
gotta,
over,
Then
and
I'll
come-
walk
yep.
through some casino. You got to go through Sahara
Yep.
or the
Something.
Wynn.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's longer.
Yeah.
It was so. In my opinion, the rail, for the most part, unless you happen to be a conventioneer and you really want to get from the back end of a hotel to the convention center,
Right.
That's all it is.
that's all the rail is there for. That's all the rail is there for.
Yeah.
If you're really trying to hop the hotels, it's terrible.
It is.
Because the MGM, for example, you can use the walkways and get much faster to any of the hotels
Yes.
than taking that rail. Because by
Yes.
the time you get to the rail, you got to sit and relax. You got to rest.
until it shows up.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got to
Right.
work some calf muscles. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some
Yeah,
cardio
yeah.
built into that workout.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
'Cause
You're,
everybody
you're
thinks-
better off walking, and if you just really don't want to walk, call an Uber, jump in a cab, something
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
get from
bus
Yeah, that
system
rail-
going up and down the strip is a nightmare.
Yes. Yeah. I
That
wouldn't even
is-
recommend the bus on the strip.
Well,
So
a
no.
lot of this is the casino's fault. They all own the air above their area, so you can't run a tram through without their permission. And very few of them want to put a tram in that's going to service their competitors. So it's they're okay if it's going from my hotel to my hotel.
Right.
But anything that's going to drop you off at another casino, they want no part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
which is really, I mean, it's silly. You should move all those people as quickly as you can and
And
get
they'll
them to
come.
where they want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely.
I do think Elon Musk is onto something with the tunnels, because he literally just went, instead of going over everybody's, like literally and figuratively.
So, are you talking about like a subway tunnel or just a walking tunnel?
No, so he has a Tesla tunnel that he's connected to convention center, but now they're planning on 26 stops throughout Vegas, basically to every casino that wants one.
So, what do you mean? So Tesla's
So-
driving around in this tunnel?
What rock?
Taking people where
What's
they
the
wanna go?
address of the rock you've been living under? Because wow,
I'll tell you
holy
after
smokes.
the podcast.
I
Tell me
know.
what you're talking about. I have
So
no idea what
basically,
you're talking about.
Elon Musk has the Boring Company, which he's building a tunnel underneath. He's
Okay.
already connected the west side of the convention center with the north side of the convention center, north and
Okay.
south halls. So you can actually go underneath and take a Tesla instead of walk the 3 miles or however long it is to go from
Really?
one of the conventions. Yeah, because it's forever. By the way, for those of you who are hanging
That's
out, my
really cool.
buddy
I had
Mike
no
is
idea.
working down the convention center, and a convention center now is this massive behemoth of a
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
And to go from one end to the other, if you happen to be an employee there, takes like 45 minutes to an hour, literally. But if you're a pedestrian, you just go down into the tunnel and you use a Tesla and you commute to the other side.
Interesting.
Now, Resorts World is going to have the first full-on depot that is going to deliver passengers from Convention Center to Resort World, which, by the way, would be a massive boon. But every other
Great
casino is going to have, not every other casino, but most of the other casinos are going to have a stop of their own if they want one.
Okay.
So the Boring Company submitted a proposal to Clark County, which was essentially approved pending with some other stops. Like they basically said a what if type of scenario, right? And without going into like all the specifics, because some of them, but we know of quite a few casinos who already had talks with them and have said absolutely 100% yes.
Okay.
Point your damn Tesla to my casino,
Right,
and
right.
we'll. Because all that convention center traffic, right,
So
and all the
it's
pedestrians.
kind of like a subway system.
It'll be a
But
subway
instead
system.
of a subway train, there's
Yeah.
Teslas down
So,
there.
so here's the thing, because our
really
public
cool.
entities have taken so long to do anything. A private entity finally came up and said, "Screw it, I'm going to build a tunnel and we're going to go underneath."
And is there going to be some kind of a charge for that? Probably.
No,
like
no,
a subway-
100%. No,
Yeah, okay.
they're going to charge. It has to
Okay.
pay for itself. But
Right, right.
interestingly, so the cost of doing tunneling in Vegas especially has
Mm-hmm.
been, prior to this technology and this new boring technology that he had available to him, it was a kind of a hit or miss. So if you wanted a pool here in town, you couldn't necessarily have a pool. If they would come out and test the dirt, if they found that your dirt was too hard, literally too hard, they'd be like, you know what? You can still build a pool, but it's going to cost you a literal fortune, right?
Wow.
It
'Cause
would.
it would go. I remember back in the day, a friend of mine, they originally budgeted about $12,000 for in-ground pool. This is back in the 90s, early 90s. The guy comes out, does a test of their ground. They actually started. They took a deposit, started the hole, and then they're like, oh crap, we run into some hard ground. And we're like, of course it's hard ground. It's ground, dude. What are you
Right,
talking
right.
about? Yeah.
Ground
here
that's
it's
been
called
baking in the
caliche.
sun.
No, it's
What's it
whatever.
called?
It's the
Caliche.
sediment. Yeah, it's
Caliche?
caliche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sedimentary rock that,
Oh.
that solidifies, and it's as hard as concrete.
It is like concrete.
All those
It takes a jackhammer sometimes to get it.
all those blocks you see where they make tiers in the landscaping, you see those blocks of white, that's caliche.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Okay. All right, so yeah, so if you wanted to build a pool and they came across that, it would be ridiculously expensive, or they would just say no. They either didn't have the excavation, they didn't have the capability to make your pool.
They
at that
don't
point.
like to let people use dynamite. In Arizona, they use dynamite.
Oh, to
deal
get
with
through that?
But here,
Got it.
I don't think they let them.
Wow, that would be fun though, huh?
Yeah.
Pull up to your
Can you
neighbor's
imagine?
house. What, do you got a pool going in? We're coming over. All right, so
Wow.
all right, here
So
we go.
that's interesting. I had heard that there was going to be some kind of tunnels underneath, but I had no idea how they were going to work. I didn't
Yeah.
know if they were walking tunnels or subway type,
Yeah.
or that's
So
really
so
cool.
now affordability is really the key, because to build an overground, like a rail type of transit,
Mm-hmm.
costs a lot of money, obviously, per mile, let's say.
Sure.
But the tunnel is sort of a budget way to do it, especially now that it's private. The biggest issue before is making allowances, where the government have to come in and sell bonds and raise money and this
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. But Elon Musk, he's got enough money
He's
for
got
all of
enough
us.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if he could go to space, he could build a tunnel.
Right?
I mean, I like the tunnel. At first, I was a bit skeptical. I know that there's a few people who have come out and ranted about the tunnel. There's some issues
have you
with.
seen it? Like,
I have not been to it. I wanted to go to the resorts one, but it wasn't open.
But this has
There
been
was some
going on,
delays.
hasn't it, for several
No, it's been
years
going on.
now? When
it's-
are they going to
in
do
a
it? When's it
limited-
going to
in
be
a-
done?
In a limited capacity, it's already been there and been working. But there are some people that have come up with the idea that you can get burnt to a crisp, like if they have an emergency. For any of you guys that are out there taking the tunnel, don't worry. There's plenty of. Apparently, they have everything under control.
Right.
Nothing to see here.
Right.
Just get your ass in the tunnel and move along.
Get your ass.
You know what I mean? You
I've
just
had players that used it and they like it.
They
said
like it?
It was great. It
Yeah.
was really fast to get to either
Yeah,
side.
is it
Yep.
self-driven or-
Interesting.
okay. All right, ready, Rest? Let's go on to the next. We're gonna go on to Casino Rants. Are you ready? We're gonna get to dealer auditions. All right. So what's changed? What can we talk about dealer auditions?
Okay, well, to begin with, 50 years ago, you could walk into any casino, say, hey, are you hiring?
Yeah.
And if they said yes, they might just give you an audition right then and there. It's
Yep.
not like that anymore.
Nope.
No, it's a process.
Go online.
It is a
fill out
process. You have to fill
paperwork.
out an application. You have to be invited down. And
Yeah.
then if you're lucky, if you make it through all their different little steps, because you're going to get an interview, you have to make it through that. You might get a chance to audition on the casino floor
Yep.
in a lot of places. Some places are doing it off the floor
Right.
now.
Right.
But it used to always be on the floor.
And that changed in the late 90s to early 2000s when human resources became
Yep.
a thing.
Oh yeah.
Human
Right?
resources is a biggie
Before
now.
human
Yep.
resources, they didn't
Yep.
go through any of that. You walked into a casino, I'm looking for a job. Sometimes they would audition you and say, can you start today? Can you
Yeah.
start
Yep.
tomorrow? You
Absolutely.
would go in for that audition, looking for a job, wearing black and whites.
Yeah.
Which a lot of places, that was the uniform, was black and white.
It
They didn't
is.
have like
Yep.
a shirt that they gave you. You wore whatever.
Yep.
Right? And a
you
lot
had
of
to
times-
supply your own, and you couldn't get a tax write-off for it because it's
That's right.
Usable.
because
Yeah.
it's everyday clothing.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So my biggest rant, of course, is that control went from the table game directors who know the kind of dealers they need and know what capabilities, to HR who has absolutely no basis, no responsibility
Well,
for
most
this.
HR does not audition them. They wouldn't know whether they're a good dealer or not. But if they don't get past HR, they don't get
That's
the
right.
audition.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, we've recently had an issue where HR has intervened. In some cases where we sent over someone, referred them, they were a great dealer,
Mm-hmm.
but because of something that HR found that was,
On their
extraneous to
application
the
or what-
had nothing to do with being a dealer, and
Yeah.
of course then Table Games gets involved and says, no, we still want this person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because they robbed the bank, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
You know
well,
what I mean?
even that has changed. When
Yeah.
I first came here, that application was about that thick. And they wanted to know everything about
well,
you.
you're talking
for
the
past,
sheriff's card. You're talking sheriff's card.
Yeah, but you
Now
couldn't
that's
get
right.
that. If you couldn't get that, you
That's right.
can't deal.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
I like that we no longer have a sheriff's card. It's a lot faster. Probably 1 page, 2 pages, whatever it is.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
It went from a sheriff's card to a gaming card.
Because you used to have to sit down.
Well, it was
there
always a
and wait.
gaming card, but downtown was the police. Out on
Yeah.
the strip was county.
Yeah.
So there were actually two different cards then.
Wow, really?
Back when
Yeah.
I started dealing, I had one card.
I only
It
had
was a
one
sheriff's
card.
card.
You only
Yeah.
had to have one card depending
Right.
on where you were dealing. But if
Yeah.
you were in county, it had to be a county card. And if
Oh,
you were
I
in
If
see.
you was,
city, it
Interesting.
had to
if
be
you
city.
worked downtown, that was
I
the
see.
regular
Really?
police department.
Yeah.
Out of the strip was the
I didn't
I-
even know I changed the card.
I still
Wow.
call it a sheriff's card. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
they
do to
call
this
it.
day.
Well, everybody.
idea.
I think everybody
Right.
does. It's been doing
Right.
this for very long.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next rant. You ready? We're gonna rapid fire this. Try to get down because two of you have to get to work. Dude. Two of you are sitting here waiting. You might have to get on the tram yourself. We used to have toke envelopes.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
used
did
to-
tokes back then.
We
yeah.
used to have
Yeah.
tokes.
Yeah.
And we had an envelope, and we went in home, and the IRS, no one knew what we made. It was
right.
a big secret.
All the tokes were paid in cash.
And
You got them every day at either at
Yep.
the end of your shift or the next day when you came in, depending on, how if it was 24-hour split, you'd get it the next day.
so
Yep.
what do you guys think about that? The difference between tokes and check?
It's the IRS, so don't let maybe I don't want to get started with that. Yeah, because they had to get their little bit of money because for years and years there was a lawsuit going on.
Yeah.
That was actually started by Wendell Oaks. He was a craps dealer at the Sahara. And because tips are not like a tip you give a waitress, it's not for good service. It was if you were winning or not.
Yeah, it was all based on win.
It was all based on win.
Because some of the biggest A-hats, they would just toke. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
They would never be, they could
Yeah.
care less. They
Yeah,
just
you can
wanted
make
to
a
win.
fortune
Well-
just because somebody was winning, and
Right.
you could not make
Right.
anything because they're just losing too much.
When I got an envelope and I was younger, that probably wasn't the best solution for me. I almost wish that was not a thing.
Me too.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough.
You never
that
saved
happened
your
to a
money.
lot of people. If
Because
they couldn't,
it was too easy.
Yes.
That's why Crazy Horse 2 was right there on DI.
Right. You would get your envelope and stop at Crazy Horse, and by the time you got home, you had no money left.
You were
Your
there
envelope
too,
was empty.
Lauren? What?
Not
We didn't
me,
run-
You.
oh.
I said you. Or you, or somebody you.
Then there were Cheetahs.
collective
Cheetahs is now
you.
the library, by the way. That's my next rant is going to be...
Okay, but let's stay on
Oh,
this one
really?
for a minute. Yeah.
All right.
I know for me, for a toke envelope, I was so happy when they made it mandatory paycheck.
But think of all the money you lost out because you never had to claim your toke. When we worked at the Rio, believe it or not, when the Rio started, for the first, year that I was there was no... The IRS came in and we had to declare 100 or 150.
yeah, I mean, we claimed,
And then-
like, everybody claimed a certain amount, but it wasn't what we were
It wasn't.
making.
It was nowhere close.
Yeah.
It was like you agreed to a certain amount.
Yeah, yeah.
I agreed to like 100
Yeah.
or 150, even though we were doing like 250, 300 a day in
But,
tokes.
but then
Yep.
again, let's go back to what we were talking about before. If you didn't claim anything to the IRS and you took all your tips home in cash, try to qualify to buy a house. Try to qualify
Oh,
to buy
yeah,
a car.
no, I was-
You couldn't get any credit because
No,
your
that's true.
on paper said you didn't make any money.
That's true.
Right?
I
It
wasn't.
definitely makes life easier, and more
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
ends up in my bank account than it ever did.
Yes,
when I had it.
Before.
absolutely.
Really?
No
Yeah,
question.
Yeah,
no
no,
question.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right. Well.
Even
That's
with
for me.
taxes, it's still better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Okay. So the next one is: do I want to rant the whole? So nowadays they're moving to juice bars at all the strip clubs because you can do all nude if you don't have alcohol.
Okay.
So you go. So I'm just curious, like, how's that working out for everybody? So the idea is like,
What?
I gotta tell you.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
how's
serve
that working out for
champagne
you?
so you can get on the stage completely nude.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's a
it's
few.
fun.
So for me,
for you,
it
how's
didn't
it
change
working
my
out?
life in any way at all. Not whatsoever. Nothing in my life changed
to be
because of
clear,
that.
when I was younger as a dealer, I could tell you the number of times that I got to go to a certain strip club, and they would let the dealers come in the back way, and you would just bring your own alcohol, and they would set up like these little lounge chairs in the back, and you would just watch. And it was a full nude show as opposed to you, because I never understood the thing about throwing money at someone in a bikini. You know what I mean? Like I could just go to the beach and maybe get away with that. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
So like but nowadays they're changing because so what used to be cheetahs is now the library.
Okay.
Because everybody apparently librarians became the answer. That sexy hidden, you know what I mean? Librarian became the answer. Isn't that something? How did librarians become like the sex?
Are you kidding me? That's always been a thing. Like
Really?
Halloween costumes, sexy librarian.
Sexy
Oh,
librarian.
yeah.
Has anyone, for you librarians out there, I would love to know, like, what do you guys dream about?
For everybody who's watching this right now,
Yeah.
if you happen to be a librarian,
Yeah,
let
I
us
know.
know.
I've
You're
always
going to
wondered,
hear
like-
from them if they happen to be a librarian.
All right, well,
No
anyways,
doubt in
moving
my
on from the
mind.
librarians. Okay, so here is my biggest rant on the dealer side recently has been the casinos that have been charging dealers to work.
That is the worst thing I
See?
have ever
Oh,
seen in my
I
life.
got another
It
one.
is a crime.
Yeah.
Yep.
A crime. I've got a dealer that came from the Golden Nugget and worked as a one of the party pit girls, and they were taking a percentage of her tokes every day she worked. That's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah.
That's servitude.
Downtown has just started piling up the fees.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah.
Oh,
So
but
he-
you mean
Ridiculous.
she's wait a minute. She was
Yeah.
placed there by the temp
Not on
dealer, by the temporary agency.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they have
is
to
it
get
the
paid.
temp agency that's taking a
Forever.
portion of
now,
the?
not
Well-
for a few months,
Oh.
for the entire time they worked there. Now, I've
That
worked
worked
at
there.
places where they used a company to get hired,
Yeah.
and you had to pay for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, a percentage of
Right.
your income.
Right.
Yeah.
This goes on for the rest of the time they work at that casino, every day.
Yeah, because they
forever.
contracted the job through them.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the temp agency in this
Yeah,
town.
so the temp agency,
Whew.
that could be, we can have,
Never did
by
that.
the way, we can have a whole bunch of people come by and rant that one out. That would be interesting.
Right?
But we don't want to,
I thought you were talking about things like there's some places downtown where you have to pay for your own parking.
you got to pay for
They,
food.
they
They
don't.
have vending
they
machines.
don't. Right. They have
Yeah.
vending machines instead
Yeah.
of an employee dining room.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you're paying for your food.
Yep.
And you can't leave the property because we only get 20-minute breaks. Right. So you can't leave because
You're
you're not clocking out. You're on the clock.
Yeah.
So they've got you.
Yeah.
So you're stuck.
And this is the real takeaway, I think. I also, when I worked as a dealer, when I worked at the Gold Coast, you got benefits, medical benefits.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to pay for them. They were you were privately insured.
Right.
And Michael Gaughan, when I worked there, Michael Gaughan, by the way, which I love Michael Gaughan. People have different, but there was one story specifically that we had a dealer had a heart problem. And the insurance company that Gaughan had, or with the Gold Coast, was what didn't want to cover. He needed a heart transplant, which is, they were short $50,000.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Michael Gaughan came out of pocket to pay for this, just took care of it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you didn't have a heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but when we were younger
I
in
heard
this
that
town,
more than once with him.
this
Yeah,
town,
no
they
doubt.
took care. Everyone sort of.
They took care
dealers
of one
were the
another.
front of the
Yeah.
line. You
Yep.
took care of your dealers.
Yeah.
They took care of the casino. Everything. It sort of was this great circle
Yep.
Yep.
in many ways. And now it's like that's no longer a thing. Now it's
No.
it's penny ante. Everything has got to be like,
Yep.
what are you giving me?
So you want to hear a rant about insurance?
Oh,
I got
God.
a rant for you
yeah.
about insurance.
Yeah.
Go.
So I don't know about any other property, but where I work,
Oh.
our insurance costs are based on how much we make. So if I am a single person with one child,
Mm-hmm.
my insurance is going to cost me this much money because I make more money.
Right.
If there's a maid or a porter or something who's a single mother with one child, her insurance costs this much.
Okay.
For the exact same coverage, but because I make more, I
Because
pay
it's
more.
sort of scaled.
It's
Right.
totally scaled. So, why am I paying more for the exact same coverage than somebody who makes less than me? What if I hardly ever use my insurance and she uses hers all the time?
Well, that's just how socialism works, Lauren.
Well, you know what? It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's
And the
wrong.
truth is,
We could
the
debate
Why
worst
am
that
I
for
paying
at a
so much
time.
for my insurance and,
is that our
it's the
youth
exact same
today
coverage?
don't have insurance.
That's
Nobody
right.
has insurance. I look
That's
around
right.
where I work. There was a day every person standing there with a uniform on had insurance.
That's right.
Today,
That's right.
I look around, half
At
are
least half.
lucky to have
Well,
insurance.
because half of those people aren't working full time, so they
That's-
don't
that's the other
qualify
thing.
for
Right.
insurance.
So the casinos
right.
are fantastic at getting you right under that threshold.
Oh, yeah.
And
When-
and part-timing you.
and not for a year.
Yeah, for
Not
years.
For 2 years.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Years.
Years.
There's a few casinos, by the way, that aren't that way. We don't want to call any bad, but there's a few that are really good at, having the list and you getting in line. But they milk it. They milk the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's unfortunate. See, this is a ranch show. How honest is this? Oh my God! Luckily, I'm not.
This
I
is
don't
the
have a
show I've been
casino.
waiting
Oh my
for.
God! You're wearing your casino shirt. Jesus. They'd be like, Lauren, you must step this away,
I
please.
know, right?
Oh my God! All right. So what we got? We got a minute.
we got
What
some
time
time.
do you guys have till? You got to get out of
I got-
here. What time?
I got an hour.
I got an hour.
An hour? Oh, fantastic. Okay, you ready? Let's do, I don't know how this is going to introduce a rant. Becky might have some rants to go on with this one, but there's a big difference between like the old customer and new customer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Wow, that's the chair.
Sweats would be the answer to that
Sweats?
question. Yeah, in the old days,
Oh, yes.
people came and they dressed up. Coming to
Yeah,
Vegas
the girls,
meant something.
absolutely. The women were
Yep.
in cocktail dresses and
Tuxedos.
evening gowns,
Right.
and the guys were in suits.
and
Yeah.
tuxedos.
Not anymore. They look like
Yeah.
a bunch of pigs
New
coming
Year's
through the
Eve
door.
was as much a show for
Big-
us in the casino
Yeah.
as it was for
100%.
the fireworks.
Right.
Yep.
People came in dressed fantastic with jewelry. They used manners. They spoke politely. They
Yes.
didn't get so drunk they couldn't walk
Yep.
Yeah.
away from
Yep.
the game.
Yeah. No,
It's a different world.
Yeah,
It
well,
is a
then
whole different
corporate
world.
America
It is.
took over, and
It's
that all
so-
changed. It's like, oh, let anybody in. We don't care if you're dressed in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do I wear my good flip flops or my ragged
That's right.
flip flops?
There you go.
Which,
Do
which
you
of those?
have
are
Do you
gonna
have
work?
$20 in your pocket that you're willing to lose at our casino? Come
Yeah.
on in.
Come on
Come
in.
on.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on in.
you came in, and all you had to do was
Yeah.
sit down and play a hand. Here's
Yeah.
go to the buffet, go have some food.
Right. Yep.
If you
Right.
really spent a lot, because what they did before is they wanted to keep you there. I'll feed you, play here.
No.
I'll give you a place to stay, play here.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
remember when Treasure Island opened. I broke. That was one of my first jobs in the casino business. Second job in the casino business. Treasure Island opens, and the management told the casino workers, if someone asks for a comp them. Don't look at their card. Don't check to see how much play they have. Give them what they're asking for if it's within any amount of reason. And we comped everybody. Nobody
Comped everybody. I mean, we used to have booklets of
Just
pre-printed
write it and go.
Buffet tickets. That's
Yep.
right, buffet tickets.
Want a ticket? Let's
I
go.
lined
Yeah,
up for
here.
my buffet
And
ticket.
They
When I
peel them off
started-
as fast as they
Cigarettes.
can.
Free
Absolutely,
cigarettes if you
cigarettes.
play.
They would have
Cigarettes,
cigarettes on the table.
On
you
the
knew
table.
with
Just take
casino.
a cigarette. Yeah.
No, that was thinking about it. By the way, that's a bit gross, especially now
Arizona
with COVID.
Charlies.
Well, now
Golden
yeah.
Gate, they used to have the round thing. You just pick one cigarette out.
Right.
Horseshoe though, you played at the Horseshoe because if you played a whole $5, remember when they had dollar tables?
They
Yeah.
buy you a pack of cigarettes.
Whole pack. They would
Yeah.
just throw you a pack
Yep.
of smokes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but they
Today-
had boxes full of cigarettes
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
in the
even-
podiums.
Even if you weren't playing, you could walk by the table and pick up a cigarette and leave.
But
So.
there was a good reason for that.
Yeah.
The time you're away from the game getting cigarettes,
Yeah.
they're going to lose
Well, yes.
just as much as the cigarettes cost
Yeah.
from income from you
Right.
playing.
Yeah.
Plus,
Right.
every time you get up and walk away, there's a chance you're not going to come back.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Your wife grabs you and takes half your money. There's
Right.
a million things
Right.
that happen. Keeping them on that game was worth it. And now the people that are making these decisions aren't attached to the casino, and
No.
they don't understand this. So we run players off for things like a pack of cigarettes. A guy that's got to have a cigarette.
yeah. When
needs
they're
that.
said
Yeah,
last
cigarettes.
lost
Right.
$5,000, but I am going to
Yeah.
have to pay you $10 for
That's
a pack
exactly
of
right.
cigarettes.
Even if he's lost only $100, a pack of cigarettes, they're buying them wholesale. These things are like $4 for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Probably not that
Yeah.
much.
If
Pre-tax,
someone's
if you're
playing
just giving them away, right?
$25 a hand at a 4% advantage, even probably 6%
Yeah.
advantage, you're going to get that money back before they would be back to play again. You're
Yeah.
losing money.
Well, but that was the
not.
whole idea. They didn't want them to leave. We're going to feed you.
That's
We're
right.
going to give you. You want to go to the
We're going to keep you in the casino. We're going to keep you in the building. If we
Exactly.
can keep you at the table, we're going to keep you at
God, I
the
love
table.
this. Hope you guys are loving
Yeah.
this.
I
This is-
remember when
Yeah.
I got into
Now-
business, I was told, do not send our players away from the table.
Yep.
If
Right.
something needs signed, anything that needs to happen, we will get somebody to take care of
Yep.
that. Do
Right.
not send them away. Now,
That's right.
I do it all the time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Send a
Common
pack
thing.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
that a shame? Like the heart of the I had someone, a casino manager, talk to me about the heart and soul of being the table games. So because we're all from the table game environment, and that really is, because you take out the people. We're like the bartenders at the bar. Right,
Yeah.
where you go to a
Yep.
bar, you don't go to a bar because they have, a lot of these bars, they get very gimmicky because they try to pull, but people find a bar because it feels right, it's comfortable. You get to know the bartender, people that work there, and you're in your local place.
And it's the bartender that brings you back.
That exactly.
That's right.
Yep.
So like
Because you can get a drink anywhere.
Anywhere.
And
Yep.
the same thing with gaming, with
Uh-huh.
table
Yeah,
games.
Absolutely.
First of all, people who play at table games, they want that human interaction. Because if you didn't want
Yep.
that, if you didn't care about the human interaction, we've got ETGs.
Electronics, ETGs,
every casino has one of those pop dice things, one of those roulette machines. We were talking about the stating in Baccarat earlier. Like every casino has that kind of a something that you can play blackjack on a machine.
Yep.
Like you can play a poker machine or a keno machine. You can play blackjack on a machine. If you don't, are you making fun of me?
Can I play Keno live? Is there a live Keno dealer out there? Because I need one of those. Oh my god.
They have keno lounges.
Yeah, they
No,
did.
I
can
know
go
they
up
did.
and-
They've been ripping them right out.
Yeah,
With
Not-
the
there's
girl
not
that would
many
come
anymore.
by and we'd
The
get 'em
Keno
playing 'em
ticket
on the
runner.
games
Yeah.
all
They
the
got
time.
the
COVID,
ticket
whacked
runner.
them all. I mean,
Yeah.
whacked the running part of it, not the actual girls. All right,
Right. No,
All right.
right.
All right, so there we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Next rant. You guys are going to love this. This is just for you guys. How do you like the fact that we now have 000 and 6 to 5?
Oh my goodness, I can barely comment about that. It horrifies me.
See?
First of all, the mathematics on roulette were very carefully calculated. There's all kinds of interesting things about that game.
Yeah.
When you start throwing all those extra numbers, first of all, they destroy the mathematics of the game, and we have all kinds of little crutches we use to get us through, but it doesn't have the symmetry it did. There's a way to the game. Second of all, the percentage on roulette is already strong. The casinos on a 000 wheel make a lot of money. It's one of the best games in the house. So what do? Add a third zero. So there is no way you're going to win money. I mean, occasionally someone gets $1 or $2, but 99% of the people don't do very well because the percentages are so high, you have no chance. Basically, what they're doing is they're opening it up for the people that don't want to play enough money to get a fair game. So they're going to play this monstrosity because they can do it for $10 a hand.
By the way, if you don't know, Daniel's our single zero instructor. So the more zeros you add, the less interested he is.
That's right. He's our
Absolutely.
roulette
You
guy.
get the 4
He's
zeros
the
and he's
roulette
out.
guy. Opinionated
Yeah.
over
yeah.
here.
No, I have
Yeah.
no opinion.
We might need to call an ambulance, have it on standby. They get that 4 working.
Every time I see those games, it makes me crazy.
Looks like his head's about to explode.
The 6 to 5 blackjack as well is becoming just like it's
But it's
almost
just
like a
another way to get money from the people. You know, it started
That's right.
with the frigging quarters that they took off the table because actually their 50-cent blackjack pays 75 cents.
That's right.
Right.
Well, they
That's
took
right.
quarters off the table.
Well, they only want to get to the
decades
50-cent piece. Yeah, no.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're
And
going to
we round
save.
it
They're
down.
saving
Yeah.
that quarter, and now they've discovered they can pay the 6 to 5, and people are still going to play, but we
They
don't have
still
to pay
play.
you so much.
And
There's
that's
so
exactly
many-
it. People are still going to play.
And that's
People
what
are
they
still
say.
gonna play.
People keep playing. The
People-
3-0
that's right.
wheels got people on it.
Yep.
So
And the reason that people keep, if you look at where those 6 to 5 payouts and where those 000 roulettes are, they're on the strip.
No, they're on the strip.
They're
yeah.
Yep.
they're where the tourists play. They're
Sure.
not in the locals casinos.
But what do you rule out? The
Well,
minute
right?
you have those in your casino, you rule out gamblers. And in a casino, the basis of our business is having gamblers.
Gamblers,
Gamblers are different than tourists.
That's right.
Gamblers
That's right.
play the games. They play a lot of money, and they're what help fund and run the entire casino. And
Right.
what we've done is guaranteed they're not going to play.
But
Yep.
if you look at the games the gamblers play, like strip casinos, they have options. They have the games for the gamblers and they have the games for the tourists. They have the 6 to 5s and the 000
Yeah.
are going to be your $10 and $15 minimums. The 3 to 2s and your single zeros are going to be your $25, $50, $100 minimums.
Have you ever
So
noticed
there's-
that the 000 games are the ones that end up closed and the 000 games are the ones that end up opening?
Sadly,
Being open?
I've
What
been a
I see-
teacher
What
since
I
that,
see
yeah.
is that a lot of times in most casinos or in a lot of casinos, there's no option for a 000 because the others are locked up,
Right.
where they're not open or they're not this or that or whatever.
And that's what the casino counts on. The casino counts on people going, well, I'm here and I want to play, and this is all that's available to me, so
100%.
I'll play.
Most people don't even
Right?
realize the difference. They don't get that one extra zero is a huge difference.
Or 6 to 5 versus 3 to 2.
So here's
Yeah.
what we tell you: come down to Casinoquest. We'll tell you where to go and
Yeah.
what to play.
That's right.
When are
Right?
we going to get a casino that opens up and has a little bit higher limit games, but
Yep.
actually gives good games like we used to in the past? In the past, they raked in so much money on these games that you can't tell me you can't make a profit on it.
That's what we're going to do
Casinoquest
next.
Casino.
We're going to have the Casinoquest.
right.
By
Casino
dealers
Casino.
for gamblers.
Absolutely, and pay
Yeah.
have a good game. A fair.
Yeah.
We can make a living on a good game.
Except
The
Lauren and I are
casinos
going to
can't.
deal.
Yeah.
Right. And go for your own, for sure.
Yeah.
I
do your
will
roulette
say,
wheel.
I will say this. I do want to give a quick shout out to Resort World for
Yeah.
being a new casino. They opened with downtown odds on their crap table.
Wow.
So they have
very
what we
nice.
call downtown odds. Strip odds tends to be a little less favorable. Downtown odds a little bit. 1631 on easy way versus hard way, whereas on the strip it's 1530.
Okay.
And they opened with downtown odds. They just which is
That's fantastic. Do they have any 000 roulette tables?
All of
I-
them.
I know
Not
they have
all of them,
SR.
but there's
Are there
plenty
really?
of them.
Do
Yeah.
they
I know
have
they have
any
SR
6 to
in their
5
car.
blackjacks?
Yeah.
I can't count.
think
I'm a
so.
dice.
I'm
I'm a
just
dice
asking- I didn't
person.
know.
I'm
I have not
talking
been
for
there
our
yet.
dice people.
No, I have not been there yet.
They lowered
but
the
hey, at
prices in
least-
their food court too, by the way.
Oh, did they?
We love that.
If they would take that mentality to all their games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Right.
would bring people in.
I think so. I think
Well,
it's a missed opportunity
And
for
do
casinos.
here's another thing that, like, what I was going to say, it's a domino effect. One casino does it, people still play, they get away with it. That makes the other casinos around them go, hey, they're doing it,
Yep.
so we can do it.
It's not
So then
Exactly.
it kind of just dominoes through the entire strip, where now all of the casinos, and the same thing with that, is paying for parking.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Never
the
thought you'd have to
resort
pay
fee.
for parking in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
but we've
How about
ranted
the
about the
re-
And
resort
it
fee to the end of the
definitely
time.
keeps people out of the casino. No
Yeah.
question. No
No,
question.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, never in a million years did I think that they would
Yeah.
charge for parking in Las Vegas.
All right, ready? All right, so
Okay.
here's what we got coming up. We have, interestingly, we talked about the end of Vegas, the Mirage, man. Mirage is
Uh-oh.
going to be a guitar.
Oh my
It looks
goodness.
like they're going to
Amazing.
take down the hotel, and they
Amazing.
want to make that into a guitar.
Is it
Seminoles
I
are
got
coming to
that.
town.
I've heard that.
Hard Rock, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
be a
It's gonna be Hard Rock.
The
Yeah.
best run hotel in this entire city.
The Mirage.
I still remember Steve Wynn when I first got there. You were talking about dealers being friendly.
Yep.
He told the dealers, listen, you make a mistake on a game, if you're trying to be friendly and you're talking to my customers, don't worry about it. He told the floorman, don't give the dealers a hard time. If they make a mistake because they're chatting up my customers, that's exactly what I want them to be doing, and don't sweat them. And they didn't. They didn't give them a hard time. It was great. A lot of that philosophy has gone away. You see dealers that are nervous about making mistakes,
Yeah.
feel pressured. It's not the same, and you don't get that friendliness, the talkative, guys that are trying to get through their 8 hours by enjoying the customers. That's what brings customers in, and
Yeah.
we have just lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be more corporate. I think
yeah.
that I'm not a fan, to be honest. I was a fan until I went out to somewhere and experienced it firsthand. But I have a feeling it's a cash grab. It's a you know what I mean.
It's a total
Even call-
cash grab.
I really think it's just everything is going to be maximized for margin, and less so for people. And I think the whole dynamic, the Mirage is not going to be what it once was. Even for me, people always ask me, what's the one place I miss? There's only one place I ever missed not working for, and that was the Mirage. Even if I made less money, I would love to just say I worked there, just to say, because it is built in 1989. It was the first casino that sort of made every other casino in a way. It was the impetus to Vegas, what we see today. It was the pivot for
It
Vegas.
was the first casino built in tax. So most casinos start off small and grew bigger. Mirage didn't start that way. They built the entire casino as
Yeah.
it is today, almost, all at one time. And they put a lot of care. When I went to work there, and it was slightly after their heyday when I started, they were the best dealers I ever saw. To this day, I've never worked with better. They were, as far as the customers, and the game became unimportant. They were all experts at the game. It wasn't about learning to throw a card or this or that. It was about interface with the players, learning how to make them happy, talk to them, take their cares away. When they sat down at that game, you just forgot about everything you were doing in life, and this was it. And it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Well, for a long time, after the Mirage, for a long time, that's what the casinos wanted. They went from dummy up and deal, which was a thing when we all started, dummy
Yeah.
up and deal. We don't care if you talk to the player. We don't want you to talk to the players. You don't high five them. You don't anything. You just shut your mouth, deal the cards.
Yep.
That's how we all started in this business.
Absolutely.
And from there, maybe it started with the Mirage, with be friendly and outgoing and make sure that they're having a good time. And that spread through this industry of, you know, if you make a mistake, it's not that big a deal because you're having fun with the players. Right now, it's both. Now it's, we want you to have fun with the players. We want you to high five them and talk to them and make sure they're having a good time, but don't you make a mistake.
Yep.
Because if you do, you're going to get in trouble for the mistake.
You can't have both.
Well, but that's where they're going now. These,
That's
where they're
these
at.
corporate, you know,
Yeah,
casinos,
you're
that's where they're
absolutely right.
going now.
Rant
Is
Central.
we right?
Wow.
You are responsible for making sure that our players have a good time. They're on vacation, they're whatever it is. But don't make a mistake.
It's a fine
Yep.
line, Lauren.
You
It's
know,
a
we're
fine
talking
line.
about the death of Vegas now, but
Yep.
my grandmother worked at the Sands during all
Wow.
the years, Rat
Yeah.
Pack, all of that.
Yep.
And she said that when Sumo Corporation, Sumo was one of the first corporations
Yep.
to buy a hotel in Las Vegas. Back then it was considered a black business. Nobody got into it. There were no stocks, nothing like that. So Sumo Corporation comes in, and that's Howard Hughes, of course. You remember
Right.
he's
Yep.
trying to buy
Yep.
up the whole town.
Yep.
And she said, watching the changes that happened when the bean counters came in, this is the death of Vegas. And it took a little longer than she thought it was going to, but it's definitely there.
Well, it's come.
Oh, yeah.
Interestingly, and that goes into the Rio. So the Horseshoe downtown used to host, when the Horseshoe was the Horseshoe, used to host a World Series of Poker.
Right.
And it's obtained legendary status.
Legendary.
I mean, it's literally like minted. It made poker, I think, what it is today.
Absolutely.
Because that's the
Without
goal.
a doubt.
To get the bracelet, to be there, be at the final table, or any of the satellite tables, the cash games.
I think televising the World Series of Poker made
Well-
poker what it is today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then of course, you know, Caesar's
That's true.
Harris came in. They added the Rio as the final table because it was more camera friendly. The Horseshoe was a bit of a drag. It wasn't made. The Horseshoe was made for radio by the time it became a thing. You know what I mean? When they say you got a face for the Horseshoe, had a face for radio kind of thing. But I really, the very last year that it was held at the Horseshoe, I went down there, and I know that it was a very somber type of thing. Everybody knew that it was moving on. There were just way too many tables. That venue couldn't support all the number of people that were pouring into Vegas to be part of this. And you could tell the dynamic has changed. You can see even how they set up the tables and, you know, how people were playing, the whole thing. I happened to be working at the Rio. We were working at the Rio when they first came to, and at first it was in bits and pieces. So at first the Horseshoe did a lot of the events, but as they get to the televised stuff, that was always at the Rio, and they converted this big, you know, this one big area, and you could see it was a whole. It was such a commercial thing. It wasn't about. You used to be able to walk into the Horseshoe and see the action, the murmur, all the chips changing hands, and all the you could feel the sweat
yeah.
and
Yeah.
the electricity.
Yeah, yeah.
You could be there as just some watch and just see all these legends.
Yep.
And in your mind is remembering that $1 million bet on craps or the you know,
all of
any bet they'll take.
Yep.
And that idea
Gone.
is
The Horseshoe just, I mean, not the Horseshoe, the Rio. I remember even being, you know, dealer at the Rio, fan of the Rio. That was the one thing I felt like, oh, crap. You know,
When they brought the World
when
Series
they brought
in?
the World Series. I thought that was a big takeaway because for me, I was rooted in. I loved watching Horseshoe dealers. I loved the you know, the up and down, the sort of the mob leg, you know, the Gone story, the Binion stories. You know what I mean? It was such a legacy thing to have been part of that. You know, I would go in there. Binion still owned it. You know, he hadn't yet passed away or, you know, been killed or whatever, however the story goes.
Right.
And to be part of that history and to see the bets, see the guys that came in. I would have a friend of mine because, David, we got this guy, he's betting, you know, 150,000 a hand. You didn't see that anywhere else. At least not on the floor.
Right.
Where at the Horseshoe, you know, you could see stuff like this
Then you
happen.
would take any bet.
As long as your first bet was your last bet. You couldn't chase it. You couldn't start at 5 and work. You couldn't martingale. But
whatever
you could.
your first bet was, that was your limit. So
That
if
was
you
your
walked
limit.
in and played $1 million, you could play $1 million in
Yep,
hand
they took
the whole
it.
time you were sitting
You couldn't martingale. That was the thing. Yeah, they would have a contract all the time. So I now, of course, the Rio, not what it used to be.
No.
They ripped that, flip it.
Ugh.
I don't even think they have power enough for the World Series. So they're moving it to the Bally's, right? That was already announced. And Bally's now is going to be the get this Horseshoe. It's going to be
Right,
rebranded
Horseshoe,
the Horseshoe.
yes.
Branding
Oh,
it.
you're
Yes.
kidding.
No.
And now they're moving
no.
the World Series of
Yeah.
Poker
It's
is going
going
to
to
end
be-
at
So it's going
Bally's.
to
The
be back
Horseshoe.
to the Horseshoe.
Yes.
It's
Not
gonna be
the
back
same
at the Horseshoe,
location,
but
it's
Bally's is
gonna
gonna be
the Horseshoe.
And guess what? Bally's is gonna Bally's now, the company that is Bally's today.
Mm-hmm.
That's now they got all their IP together, moved over. They bought the Trop,
Okay.
and they're gonna demo that. So right now it looks like they're gonna demo the Trop, and they're gonna create. That's gonna be the Bally's, new Bally's.
Now, see, the last rumor I heard was where the Trop sits now was going to become a baseball stadium.
No, that's
or
not a thing anymore. Bally's
No.
bought
Oh,
it.
okay.
And let's just say that there's going to be a gaming entity because Bally's, in fact, all their sort of corporate headlining stuff is like, listen, we're Bally's, we need a casino. So they bought a casino, and they were a casino. And then the licensing, we have a fan of ours, Christopher Bird Trucking, knows more about this than I'll ever know. But basically, Bally's sort of went, because the pinball maker went into gaming
Right,
and
right, right,
software,
right.
and there was a few
Right,
different
and the
Bally's,
slot
and then they
machine,
had
yeah.
they had a relationship with Caesars, and they got to keep the Bally's name attached to that property. But now that they bought the Trop from Penn Gaming, who exited that property
Right.
after COVID, now the idea is they're going to demo the Trop, which I could go on about that. See, there was an article recently that came out talking about there's not going to be many legacy properties left the way they were. They're all done. I mean, that's it. Once the Mirage goes, that's 89. Now you have the Trop, which, by the way, 57 was the
that
first
89?
iteration
I
of
thought
the
it was
Trop.
earlier.
89. You know why I
No,
know
it
it's
was
December
89,
of
yeah.
89?
Okay.
Because I was literally on a military convoy going through the 15 on my way to 29 Palms and got to see it, being built.
Wow.
So I remember it was like
We stayed
September.
there when it opened. My grandfather was a huge gambler. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got comp rooms and whatever. We stayed
It was
there.
about
But
September of
I would
89
have
when-
sworn, I would have bet money that it was earlier than 89, but
no, 100%.
yeah.
So to see now the Trop 57, because so what people don't realize is like there were other hotels on the outskirts, but it was the middle was like the Mirage, the Flamingo.
Right.
That was what became the Strip.
Right.
So and of course a lot of these properties like the Sands, they started in like they started as little motels or lodges, and
Yep.
then they grew up around them and became these.
The
Hacienda.
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 Yeah, that's right where my mind
Yeah.
went. Hacienda.
I
Yeah.
played they had bowling there, just so you know. I
At the
was like, they had
Hacienda?
bowling? Yeah. I played the last
Wow.
bowling. I was there the very last day, because guess what? Guess what they were giving out the last day? Free bowling. and not just that, free
I thought you were gonna say
food.
free bowling ball,
Free
or
everything.
shoes, or
So the bowling was free, and the hot dog was free. You got a hot dog, soda, and the bowling was all free on
So
the
you
last
saved
day.
that 99 cents.
Oh,
Good
I
for you.
scored.
I'll tell you what, I bet their casino was busy.
It wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't that busy.
No,
No,
you'd think
I
it
couldn't
would be.
believe it.
Wow.
As we were finishing the bowling, it was so weird because they had already turned off some lights. They had already started winding down the property, and the guy was like, "Listen, he offered me free bowling shoes." And I'm looking at both of us, but me and my friend, and I'm looking at like, who the hell wears bowling shoes? Like, where am I ever gonna wear bowling shoes? I mean, I
Now
guess to
they
go
do that.
bowling,
Right?
but I was like,
Yeah.
no, I couldn't believe it. I gave up something for
funny.
free, Lauren.
Can't believe
I
it
was
either,
offered
David.
something for free, and I
Wow.
said no, thank
Wow.
you. But the Hacienda did have a bowling alley. Everyone was shocked when I
Yeah,
say that.
wow.
No way.
Yeah.
They were a little desperate towards the end. They went from less gaming to more like, you know what I mean, carnival kind of atmosphere.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's nothing left. The legacy properties that exist, because the Flamingo is not the Flamingo, nowhere close to the
Oh,
Flamingo. It's
no.
all been remodeled,
And
renovated.
Bally's was the original MGM, so
And Bally's was
right.
the original MGM.
That's right.
Right.
The Excalibur, I guess, is not really any kind of legacy
So,
property.
so
Yeah.
really,
The Luxor,
the
there's
main
nothing left.
one, well, Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, but
Caesars.
I mean Caesars, of course. But when they took out the fountains, that's it. I was done.
True.
When they took away
True. It's
Evil
not the same.
Knievel's fountains.
You know,
That's
there's
true,
a
it's not the
story I
same.
read about Caesar's Palace when they opened in 1967, their grand opening weekend. They ran out of money in their cave.
Oh,
Wow.
believe it.
Had not a penny to pay
Wow.
out players,
Wow.
which is a major thing in a casino.
Yeah.
You don't want
You
that
gotta
to
cover
happen.
that.
yeah, no, that
You
doesn't
know how they
happen.
fixed it? Binion sent a limousine down the center of the strip stuffed with $100 bills to the cage of Caesar's Palace to make sure they didn't run out of
Wow.
money. He was
Wow.
not connected them in any
Right,
way.
right.
He was just helping out another casino.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, see, that's what they did.
Wow.
That's
Old
old
Vegas.
Vegas.
That's old Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when?
With a phone call.
So you know, I
Wow.
got tipped to Batista's hole in the wall. I mean, not tipped. I got comped to Batista's.
Batista's.
From
Oh,
a
I
strip
used to
casino,
love that
because
place.
remember they didn't have restaurants really.
Yeah.
You got
Not
tipped,
restaurants,
not right. You got tipped to like a Ferraro's.
Comped.
You got comped. You got comped to like they put you in a limousine and you went to whatever the hot. They had cafes. You know what I mean? So if you did really well at the Horseshoe, they weren't going to send you to that cafe. Although I love that cafe, they would send you to some other.
Right.
Batista's was a popular destination. Sinatra, the Rat Pack used
Oh,
to
yeah.
go there. This is a lot of.
Batista's was very
Don't
popular.
get me started on Batista's. What happened to you people? What have you done to that place? Oh my God.
I know. I haven't been there in a long time.
Batista's hole in the wall. Don't waste your
And-
time.
Well, that's why I haven't been there, because
Yeah.
people say don't waste your time. It's not the same, and I have such great memories of Batista's
Oh, keep
that
those
I don't want to
memories.
go back and
No,
ruin
keep
those.
those
No,
memories.
don't
Yeah,
go.
keep
My
Don't go there.
grandparents took us there every time we came to Vegas. That was my grandfather's favorite restaurant.
Ferraro's?
Every time.
Fantastic. Wow.
Really good,
Holy
huh?
smokes, it's good. Wow, best cheesecake. We've been trying to find a cheesecake that beats it, but we cannot find a cheesecake that beats it. We're all in up for hours. All right. So really that's it. That's my rant on Old Vegas is there is no Old Vegas.
No,
Old Vegas
no,
is
Yeah.
gone.
gone.
No, it's gone.
History.
It's
Done.
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. All right, so I was going to go over, like, you know, the last thing I think that's a bit outrageous, and I'm going to just my quick rant about that, is how dare casinos want to put an ATM on the machines now. That's the
So-
next big iteration. So we've seen a
so-
lot of this, like G2E. You just plug in your ATM card and go to town, dude.
I know that now a lot of the casinos have the little ATM thing on the table.
On the tables.
So you don't
On
even
the
have
table?
to. Yes.
Oh,
you
yes.
don't even have to get up from the table
Yeah.
to go to the ATM machine or go to the cage
Yeah.
to get money.
You can buy right
do it
in.
right there at the
Strat has them.
table.
Oh my
Resorts
God.
has them.
And
Resorts will.
they just give you, like, you sign the thing and they give you the chips right out of the rack, right?
Talk about
Wow.
potential for disaster.
Right. So I think
Yeah.
that's bad enough.
Nah,
Personally, I
100%.
think that's
Can you
bad enough
imagine?
to be able to insert your ATM
And just
card
play
or your
off
credit
your
card or something
just
into
play
a
off your
slot
account.
machine?
Oof.
How
I
fast
know-
your bank account's going to go empty.
Right. I
Let me
know
just
for
say-
me, thank God they didn't have
I
that
think
back
half
in my
of the
day.
excitement
when I
used
was-
to be able to be getting the
cash.
quarters out of the machine.
So that-
Watch them fall out, man.
That's-
They,
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
they had
what I
those
Your
love.
hands
buckets.
would get all dirty and
And
gross.
yeah, your
Oh,
hands
yeah.
would be black.
Buckets
yeah.
The
full
buckets.
of
Remember the
But it
buckets?
was so
You had to go
much
get the
fun
buckets.
Yeah.
taking those buckets
Yeah.
to the
And hearing
cashier
the
and
chink,
watching
chink,
them
chink, chink, chink.
count it
Yeah.
out.
And
Yep.
now they make it just sound effect when you cash your
Yeah,
ticket,
yeah.
as if
Ching,
that's
ching,
a
ching,
win.
ching.
Weirdest thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chink, 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 and the ticket. Like, oh my
Yep.
God.
But we all know why, right?
No.
Yeah,
It
it's
takes
They're saving
time.
money.
Easier and cheaper.
That's
Dude.
right.
Yeah.
It takes
And
time.
those
all those
machines
get all
required
those-
service. You had to
Lots of
service those
service.
machines.
You know, they
Yeah,
didn't
so-
count the quarters. They didn't individually. It was all by weight.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
really?
They would
100%.
take a bin of quarters and just weigh it, and
Yeah.
that's how they taxed them on that.
But then I had
Yeah.
that all, you know,
Interesting, yeah.
look at the jobs they did away with. I mean, all those,
Tons.
yeah, people
Remember the
had to
girls
roll
that,
the
like
coins.
downtown that used to stand in the middle of the
Carousels.
dollar machines, the
Yeah.
carousels,
Oh,
and they would
Remember
have
the
change.
girls that used
Yeah.
to walk around with those chains belts?
Oh,
But they
on
would
those
wish you
heavy
luck.
things with all
I
the-
was
Yeah.
one of those girls, Becky. I was at the Western Ho.
Yeah,
doing
you were
change.
adorable.
And
I
that was
was.
probably
Oh,
what,
yeah.
100 pounds hanging
Oh.
around your waist.
Yeah.
The first
Those
day,
are
the first
heavy.
day, I tried. I had it to change belt, and then I had the little. You remember I had the
Like,
envelope
for
if
the-
anybody
the
for the
apron
bills,
with
the
the
apron with the
bills.
bills.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And oh my God, was that heavy?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, holy
Yeah.
crap!
Wow.
And then when
Yeah,
you had to come in and fill the damn machine, because you know they would have you carry the
With the bags
thousand,
full of quarters or
$1,000,
nickels or whatever, yeah.
$1,000. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
$1,000 silver dollars, $1,000.
Oh my
Western
God.
Ho, oh, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was so skinny. I burned so many calories
So
that
there's
day.
where you have your pros and cons, right? It's easier on the change people, the slot people now, because they don't have to carry all that crap around with them.
Right.
It's not easier. They are
However-
unemployed.
They're
That's right.
unemployed. Yeah.
They don't
yeah.
need as many slot people anymore, so they're all unemployed.
They don't need
Or,
slot
you know,
people. They don't need
80%
more
of them.
people in the count rooms to count. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
right.
they're all
Eventually,
doing
they're
it.
just
That's
gonna
right.
suck the soul.
If you're in the slot area and you wander around looking for somebody to help you,
Good
you're
luck.
lucky
Yeah,
to
forget
find
about it.
Yeah,
somebody.
good
You
luck.
can't find anybody anymore.
Yeah, I get stopped all the time going back and forth to break. Can you help me here? Can you help me here?
Uh-huh.
I'll try to find you somebody. I'm like, I can't help you because I don't know about the slots.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll try to find you somebody, you know.
All right.
You're
Well, hey, Dennis, are you still there, buddy? You haven't plugged in. What do we have? Do we have any questions? Anybody in
Is
the
anybody
chat?
out there watching us?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, we do have a super chat that came in like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you.
4 Axis gave us $5. Said, Get those likes up, folks.
Yeah, no, we're supposed to give something away, but we're gonna do it for free. We didn't even. Oh my God, I forgot to offer the giveaway.
We got so
David's
involved in this rant.
What happened? You know what? We're gonna give away. I got these 2 coins that I found that come from our legacy collection that I would like to give away today. In fact, we don't have many of these left. If you haven't gotten them, I got a blue and purple. For those of you that love blue and purple, they're from our last collection. Are you laughing? Are you nodding your head? What are you falling asleep? What's going on over there, Dennis?
Dennis is laughing.
Is he laughing? All right, what kind of questions do you have? So here, we don't even care what the likes are, but when we get to the end of the show, we're going to give away some stuff. How about that? We're just going to do it just because
I'm
you
going
guys...
to give away this pencil.
Oh, my God.
I've touched it. David will touch it.
Oh,
Touch it,
God.
David.
Just... Anyways, and we... Because you got through my plugs, and hopefully you were patient with us in the first 5 minutes as, through that whole stuff. All right, what else we got? Do we have any questions? Because you have literally 150 odd years of gaming here.
Yeah.
And who are ready to answer your questions as honestly as we possibly can without getting fired.
Well, really quickly.
Yes.
Nick says, gave us $20 super chat. Says, my friends, my wife, and I had a blast at CQ on Tuesday with David and Dennis. Thank you guys so much, and Dennis, great haircut. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
I love that. That's when you know they were here because
Yeah.
we love Dennis's haircut.
Oh,
We've been bringing it up
fantastic.
constantly. Isn't
Yeah.
that fantastic?
Look,
He
I'm over
looks
the
like
haircut
a-
now.
Look at all
That's
that.
too much,
Look
okay?
at
It's
his
been-
over-
that
He
sexy
doesn't wanna hear
thing.
it
Some of his
anymore.
hair is trying to run away. It's so sexy. They just can't stand. All right, what else do we got? You have to scroll back. Should I pull it up in the chat?
There hasn't been many questions because people
People are
ranting
just like-
alongside with you guys.
Really?
Oh, okay. Okay.
They've been
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
in tuned with the presentation.
No, they know we're right. That's why.
Right.
No, everybody
That's
knows
right.
they're right. If you're a
That's
player
right.
out there, this is as much as we're dealers, supervisors, educators, this kind of thing in gaming. We're also players.
Yep.
We also miss that part of Vegas. Like you can't not have been here all these years and not miss a lot of and wonder like what the hell.
Right.
Like at what point does this really stop?
Yep.
You know, when we went to when I mean, I talk to a lot of people in this business all the time, right? For our dealers and my whole thing is about, how about, going back and prioritizing, because I think and there are a lot of table game directors out there, casino managers out there who also, they feel like they're out of they don't have control over it anymore. It's become so much about the margin.
and
It's
it's
so much
true,
about
they
the
don't.
numbers.
That's right.
And it's not. I mean, and so there's not much they can do.
A lot about gaming is counterintuitive. You wouldn't think giving things away is a good way to make money, but it is.
It helps them sit here and spend a little bit
And-
more money. Yeah.
That's right.
where
And you
I'm-
said, when's it going to stop? I don't see it stopping. I don't see it stopping because this is becoming the new normal for all the kids that are now turning 21. They're in their 20s,
Yeah.
maybe their early 30s.
Yeah.
This is the Vegas they know.
That's right. That's why
is-
a new Casinoquest Vegas needs to be on the horizon.
Oh,
You know
remember
what I
when
always.
when the kids used to, they would cruise Fremont Street before they turned it into a mall area.
that was
Right.
great. I've
They
done
would
that.
get in their cars and cruise up, go
Yeah,
up and down
100%.
Fremont Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
used
has
to be
changed
the-
too. Oh my God, it's all been gentrified. Much of it. I mean, you
Yeah.
could still go far enough and still catch some action, Lauren. If you go far enough down the street, there's some of that.
Yeah.
You got to really kind of look though.
Yeah.
It's not as apparent. It's more lit.
Gotcha.
But it's amazing how the bars have worked their way down the street. I mean, it really is incredible what they've done to Fremont because that used to be the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were short tokes, you could go hang out on the corner of Fremont Street for a few hours and work
That's-
your way back.
You're right. You're right.
But how did it start that the dealers were going to put on bikinis and dance?
No, that's interesting. We have had many
because
more.
sex sells.
Oh my!
Sex
yeah,
does
but
sell.
Get somebody that can dance. Dealers aren't dancers. None of
And
them love
dancers
doing
aren't
it.
dealers.
Okay.
So,
And
so-
don't we know it?
See what happens
Don't we
here?
know it
This
back
is
then?
gonna
We
just
know
fall
it.
apart.
Wouldn't you want somebody that could do the job you're hiring them for?
Apparently
Maybe.
not.
well, not when it
Apparently
comes
not.
to sex.
That's right. Sex sells.
You gotta
they-
dance.
Skin and low
need a
cut
lot of
and
skin.
Yeah, but now
shimmy
you've got to
shimmy
make
and
them follow the rules and do what they're supposed to and handle things correctly.
I don't think they're
in a
worried about
bikini.
that.
so
yeah, they're not
so
worried about that.
let's go back
That's it.
to when you were talking about the Mirage and Steve Wynn said, if you make sure the players are having a good time, if you make a mistake, not a big deal.
But
right?
within
Yeah.
reason.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we
By
have
the
some
way-
I've been
stories
on those
about
games.
that too.
They
That
don't dance well. They've got dead eyes while they're doing it. You can see they're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then when they get on the game, they've got no personality on the game. So you've kind of lost both. You don't,
I mean, I don't generally go play in a party pit or a bikini pit because it's, but
Horrifying.
we've had some dealers, we've trained some dealers for that, and who have been dancing dealers or bikini dealers who have come in and they want to learn more games to go
They've
get a
come
job
back.
not wearing a bikini.
They want to be a regular dealer.
Right?
Yeah, we get a lot of those
course,
actually.
They want to move forward
Yeah.
in their career, and you
Yeah.
can't do it wearing a bikini.
Right.
Depends what career you're looking at,
Well,
sir.
that's true.
Okay, it's different. There are different avenues of career paths to go.
Right.
I'm just saying. You know what I
Anyways, we
mean?
do have a question.
We have a
The South-
question.
The South Seeing South says, do you guys think Vegas will ever become a player-centric again?
You want to know something? I actually have one thing to add to that. I actually believe that because users are finding a voice like never before in the world, just in
Yes.
general, people can, record things. Look what's going on, like all over. I don't want to bring in any politics, but everybody's got a phone, an opinion, and it's everywhere. Like
Yeah,
if
what
you're
stays in Vegas, it doesn't
What-
exist
we
anymore.
have a
That's
channel. Can you imagine 20 years ago us being a channel? We would have had to go through a production company and CBS and be a
Yep.
personality and maybe been on some couches. Lauren, you know what I mean? Those old kind of
why you
things
say
going
it like
on.
that,
I mean,
David.
because I know. But nowadays, everyone has a voice. Here's what I think. I quite honestly think that if enough people have a voice, they just spend their money a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And so ultimately, the one good thing I would say that's happening to Vegas, it's becoming decentralized. There are going to be more casino operators in town. And in the years of yesteryear, when you had all these, we didn't like all the operators, but they had to compete to find a customer base. They weren't sharing all the same 3 customers. You know what I mean? You have Caesars, MGM. You have, up until a couple of years ago, there were very few operators. Everything was consolidated. Well, now it's being deconsolidated a little bit. Palms has its own owner. Mirage has its own owner. Trop Valley's has its own owner. You still got the Alardis in the midst with Casino Royale holding on for dear life.
Well, look at it used to be the Hard Rock. What's it called now? Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin.
Virgin is its own owner.
Yeah.
Well, Cosmopolitan was for a
Has-
long
All
time. We're
that's
going
gonna
to MGM
happen
now.
is one of these owners has to make the right move
That's it.
and offer a decent game for gamblers, so they'll come
And
in.
let them have a
And
decent
again,
time
it'll
without
domino.
spending the fortune.
You know who I'm going to point to? You know who my favorite casino manager of all time, I hope he's watching, and he used to be the VP of the Strat, Brian.
Oh yeah.
And he went into the Strat of all places, and we were part of that journey with him,
Yeah.
and we shared a lot of his sort of, his intellectualism when it came to that property. He changed the game. He moved the needle. If you go into the Strat today, it's busy.
Yeah.
The place is booked. The tables are busy. The action is, they have some of the best action in town. The Strat, okay, for
Yeah,
any of us who have been here
amazing.
long enough, the fact that we
Amazing.
say that is quite simply stunning.
I had friends in town.
Vegas
came in
World.
town yesterday. Spent
Vegas
the night
World.
last night. Vegas World.
Vegas
Yeah.
World.
He moved the needle in a material
Bob
way.
Stupek's, yeah. My friends stayed at the Strat last night, and I stayed there with them, and it was busy. The tables were busy. The slots were busy. There was a lot
Yep.
of people. The restaurant was busy. We had to wait quite a while to
Yeah,
get into the restaurant.
I'm telling
It
you.
was busy.
Dude.
And I saw several of our dealers, and it was kind of cool.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He brought the heart back to that casino.
Yeah.
The way he moved the tables, the way
Yeah.
he changed dealer tokes. Dealers went for themselves. That
That's
was one of the
right.
big. You know what he did? He got dealers from the Mirage that work there now.
Really?
Oh yeah, they got.
Wow.
He
So-
actually has dealers. I don't know if it's their full-time job. They might still work at the Mirage too. But he literally has dealers from the Mirage that work there.
So I know that it's not feasible to do that in every property
Sure.
in this city,
Right.
right?
Yep.
But if you want friendly dealers, that's the way to get them.
That's a
is
great
to
way to
have
go.
every dealer go for their own tokes.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of go for your own.
Really?
I went down to one of the casinos down outside of town, and they were going for their own. They were one of the first that opened up go for your own after years where nobody had been doing it. And I sat on a game, and those dealers were so forward and out
aggressive.
of line with
Really?
toke money.
Yeah.
And so, it would be good if they control how the dealers
Yeah.
hustle.
Yeah.
But a hard hustle is nothing fun to either. Even if it's not directed at you and
Right.
That's
it's
true.
at the other
Right.
guy, you don't want to hear that while you're trying to game.
Well, and I think I know. Are you talking about the Silverton?
Yes. There
Okay.
you go. I couldn't come up
So,
with the name.
and that's more a lot. I mean, it's kind of a locals place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? The Strat I've played at the
It's
Strat.
not
I've played
that.
at their
It's
table.
not
There is
aggressive.
no hard
It's
hustle.
not a hard
Because
hustle.
It is
they
not a
rated
hard
it.
hustle.
They don't allow a hard hustle.
They
at
don't
all.
allow it,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you know,
Now
I
that
didn't.
could be great.
And they
Really
don't do
good.
a hard hustle can generate you more money, but also generates you
It
some
can
bad,
also-
some
And
negative.
Exactly.
But that
you know,
we
user
teach them
vibes.
that. That's one of the big points I try to make. You cannot rough hustle anybody,
That's right.
and I give them examples of rough
That's
hustle.
right.
I came to the IP. They fired all those guys for hustling. In fact, I even trained
Yeah.
one of them that was fired right before me at
Yeah.
the IP.
Wow.
When because that was the issue.
Yeah.
They were setting up bets for themselves. In a crap game, it's pretty easy just to start laying out bets,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's still hope. I don't think that ETGs will take over. I think table games have to be dealt. That human interaction is key. If
I
you're going to
agree.
be a casino, you got to have tables. And then ultimately with the diversification, the demonopolization a little bit on Vegas, many different players coming in, we're able to have many more conversations that we weren't able to have before, even as a dealer school, thanks to the channel, thanks to our fans, thanks to you guys. Right? We're able to do things.
Yep.
We have picked up, so last week we called 8 casinos called us. And by the way, three of those casinos would have never called us if it wasn't for this.
Right.
100%.
Right.
Because we've been knocking at doors for a long time, and it's a thing. But because of literally the fan base, the fans have spoken.
Yeah.
Our school has spoken.
Yeah.
The number of people that show up. I mean, you just can't avoid CEG Dealer School because we graduate more dealers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And more quality dealers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So where it used to be dealer schools had a terrible rep. So my point is that I really think that there's hope. We just got to find the trailblazer like Brian. Brian, get yourself a casino for the love of God.
Come on.
Let us know.
Come on, let us know where you land.
But we need someone like
Yeah.
that who's a trailblazer, who's going to think out of the box, who's not going to be so subjective. Because, he would represent the game. That's a guy who knew how to go in and just say, listen, this is what we need to get done. And willing to maybe not butt heads, but willing to sort of represent the reality. Because we can't all be wrong. And we seem to all be on the same page.
It's funny.
150 years, we're all agree with this.
Anybody
this-
that works in this
Yeah.
business thinks this way.
Well,
Yep.
anybody who works in this business for a while,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're only 4 people, but the amount of time we've been in this business, talk to anybody who's been in this business for 20 years or more.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
You're going to hear exactly the same thing. that
All
you
right,
just heard
well,
from us.
we're going to wind it down. What do you got? You got any last minute? We got to do our giveaway. If anybody's still here, and there's
Well-
like 4 people, we'll just give something to everybody. What do you got?
We have a couple questions.
Ooh.
Has the cost of cutting by the casinos affected how high rollers /
Cutting
players?
cocaine or cutting
Wait,
what? What are we cutting?
Has cutting costs in the casino what?
Oh. Cutting costs.
affected how they treated high rollers? Or
Oh,
slash
100%.
whales?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to know where the biggest hole in Vegas right now? It's high rollers, sadly. Now, a lot of high rollers have not come back to
Not
Vegas
come
because they
back.
can't get anything. Even restaurants now, even the foodie stuff has changed. So if you're a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 player at some of the high-end casinos, you're like, go pay for your own dinner. It's
Well,
gonna
even
cost.
if they're not, it's like
Yeah.
my son, my older son who came in from out of town. They live in Pennsylvania now, but he was born and raised here. He doesn't want to come back because it's too expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the few casinos that I know that on the top tier amenity list, like if you really can play $1 million credit line and they'll throw everything at you, the Wynn, the Bellagio, even Aria to some degree. But that middle ground, those of you that used to come out here with $20,000, $30,000 in your pocket, boy, a lot of those amenities have gone. I know a guy that used to come out with $50,000 on the weekends and automatic get a limo, room comp, everything was done, and now it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
He's got to call ahead, have this conversation, talk
Yeah.
about his play.
Yeah.
They want to make sure he's going to be on the tables too. They don't don't walk
Yeah.
away with your money. Don't say you're coming and not actually play. But it used to be just a gimme. We hope you
That's
play.
right.
If you don't play,
That's exactly
well,
right.
We'll take one.
And now they'll say, okay, we will pick you up in a limo and we will comp your room and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but you're
if-
going to have to find your own way back.
Well, no, but if your play at the end of your trip does not show, like you
That's
don't
it.
have to
Yeah.
play, we'll charge you.
That's it, yeah.
It'll be comped
Yep.
if you
Or
earn
they
it.
charge you up front and then they'll comp you on the back if your play
Yeah,
warrants it, which
exactly.
is a bit
Yeah.
odd. So I definitely think that cost cutting, which is all about, now it's about the margin squeeze. Like you'll notice a lot of amenities have been removed from Vegas because they don't meet, that's the new buzzword. So in the casino world, all the bean counters, let's make X margin, and whatever doesn't make X margin, we're going to rip it out and take it out. Okay, because it's about the money, it's about the spread. Instead of it being about the relationship. How many people? Keno Lounge probably doesn't have a very high margin, although it probably does actually. Okay, but when it comes to like whether you have a Keno Lounge or whether you have slot machines in the Keno Lounge, I'm guessing the slot machines probably pay off a little better. I don't know that, but you take away the heart of the casino, Lauren, the Keno Lounge.
And a lot of places don't have a Keno Lounge anymore.
No, they got rid of it.
And a lot
They
of
sucked
places
it up.
don't have the Keno. And some places have the Keno without the lounge. You still can go up to a window. They still, you know what I mean? But there's just not seating to sit there. Like
You want to
used
know where the margin play was when the horseshoe pulled out the cafe that was downstairs? Wasn't
Oh.
making enough money. But it was literally, that was the heart of that
But
casino
that's
for
where
the long time.
gamblers went to grab a quick bite and
That's
get
it.
back up to
That's
the
right.
table.
Yep.
They
right.
took out
And
one
all
of the things.
the dealers went down there to get a
And
dinner after they got
when
off
they
work
killed
and
that
spin their
restaurant,
tokes.
they killed
So-
half the
That's right.
traffic, and that place descended. They had a literally a bizarre swap meet set up. Did you see that they closed the valet and a swap meet was back there?
Oh my
Nobody
God.
goes into a casino saying,
yeah.
I'm going to lose all my money. You got to
No.
have traffic. You got to have people walking
Yep.
through.
Right.
You want to get them there, and some are going to play.
That's
Simple
right.
as that.
That's right.
Yeah, so I really the margin answer is not the answer because you take out the heart and soul and the love and all the things that count
Yeah.
that make the whole experience an experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
but
holy
again,
smokes.
like I said, for the kids today, the 30-year-olds, this is the only Vegas they know.
Well,
That's
better
right.
So they don't know what they're missing
That's
because
right.
right.
Casinoquest Casino coming to you.
See, if
You know what I mean?
some
3 to 2
some
tables,
company was
single
really
zero.
smart, they'd hire all 4 of us to run their casino.
That's right.
Becky,
That's right.
that's a
I
bridge.
know, I
That
know,
is a
that's-
long bridge.
I'm not doing it.
That's a toll bridge.
No, thank
That's
you.
a toll bridge with an expressway. Oh my God. What else you got? We got another question. We have to do the giveaway.
Now that Las Vegas casinos have changed, which casinos do you recommend your Casinoquest students turn dealers to start working as?
Oh, well, I will say this. Demand for dealers has gone through the roof. Like I said, we had 8 casinos reach out to us, and a few of them now are going to be offering tuition reimbursement as soon as David can forward like how it's going to work. So there's a thing. So for those of you hoping to become a dealer, some casinos now, if you get hired and meet the 90-day probation, they're going to give you the money back that you spent to become a dealer, by the way. So that's coming here
What a
very
great
quickly.
thing.
We'll have a few casinos that'll do that, which we have been advocating for the longest time, by the
Yep.
way.
Yep.
$500 is really low cost to get a dealer in the door, especially when you're paying $250 just to post a job somewhere.
Right,
Just
right.
come down to the dealer school. We'll
Yep.
train them and get them squared away. I mean, we opened an entire casino during COVID.
Yep, we
and
sure
who
did.
paid us? And yes, did every dealer show up? No, not every dealer showed up, but most of them did, and saved them a fortune.
right.
You know how much they would have had to pay?
And we were able to teach those people that casino's procedures.
No,
like it was
100%.
very specific to that casino.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't like
Well,
they went in there not knowing what the house shuffle was or whatever, right?
so the question is, because I always tend to tangent right there, but so like where to work. So honestly, there's a lot of really great. When you break in at a casino, you should focus on what's close to your house. What's going to give you the action? Look at your career. What are your career objectives? What's going to work for you? Believe it or not, David, myself, I just talked about myself in the third person. I've literally gone crazy, Lauren. Look what you've done to me. We actually go and meet the table game directors for the most part. We know the supervisors that are recruiting. We get to
Yep.
know them because you as a personality, everyone is different. There are different casinos for different people, quite honestly. And
Yep.
David
Oh,
knows
yeah.
this because I've worked at a lot of low-end places. There's a casino that we send people that is very structured.
Yes.
They're very rough. When I say rough, it's just structured. Some of our older dealers that start older, they love it that way. They come to work. Some of our newer dealers, they haven't liked
Younger.
it. Younger people,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like it to be too structured. They want a more flexible.
Yep.
Can I come and go?
Yep.
Can I blow my nose right here? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's not so much. So knowing that whether or not it's a more old school kind of pit and a new school kind of pit kind of helps. So we get to know you. We don't want you to commute too far either because we find that if we make it as easy as possible.
Right.
So there's a lot of station casinos, a lot of Boyd properties that are great to break into. We work with Jerry's Nugget. Ellis
Yep.
Island has reached out to us
Yep.
as well.
The Strat.
The Strat, of course.
Yep. El
Strat's been a
Cortez.
fantastic partner. So there's a
Yep.
few casinos
Yep.
off the list, but Lauren, we'll update Lauren later. No worries.
Talking about our dealer, one of the single zero dealers works at the Strat.
Yeah.
And she's learning.
Yep.
And she got a $30,000 toke.
Yeah.
Did you hear about
No,
that?
100%.
Oh, wow.
The
I did
Strat
not
is
hear
dealing
that.
some of
Good
the
for
biggest
her.
Baccarat action in town.
Wow.
Okay.
And go for your own. It's in her pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, holy crap,
Fantastic.
that's
Good
nice.
for her.
So here's what I'll say: the answer is not the same for everybody. That's the difference with we don't work with just a couple casinos, and we don't run this dealer mill. We try to work with as many casinos as possible
Yep.
to give you the greatest chance out the box. I don't want to send you. Go
To
ahead.
add to that, break-in dealers will not end up like Aria or Bellagio or Wynn or Cosmopolitan. That's just not a thing.
Yeah.
You have to start in a break-in house first to get that experience. You don't have the experience,
Yep.
you can't just come right out of school and
So-
go straight to the Cosmopolitan.
So we sent dealers to Jerry's Nugget, and they got a $1,500 bonus. They got hooked up. By the way,
fantastic.
they also have the best EDR. I mean, as far in terms of food,
Yeah, they have
taste-wise,
great food,
the
and everybody
food's
goes, "Oh,
fantastic.
that's
Yeah.
It really is. We've been there a couple times now. We love the food.
Yeah.
The service is like what you'd expect from like a New York deli kind of thing.
Sure.
The lady's like, "Listen here, I'm at Jerry's Nugget.
Right,
Here's your
right,
damn food."
right,
Oh,
right.
their desserts are unbelievable.
But the desserts
I've heard the only time I've ever been
What's
up
the matter
there,
with you?
lines are so long to get into the coffee
that
shop.
that can be
Go
true.
late
It's
at
so
night.
busy.
That can be
Late
true.
at night is
I'm
the
gonna
way
have
do it.
to.
Yeah.
All right, do we have
I
anything
actually
else?
heard, by the way, for Jerry's Nugget from one of the dealers there, that
Wow,
you
look at
could
that.
order
Yeah.
your break before, so
And
when you get to your next break, you already have your food ready.
Nice.
Actually, that's happened at a lot of, because I've worked in
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
places
not
where you
so
can do
much
that.
anymore.
That was
though.
standard procedure.
used to be,
in
yeah.
the day. Oh,
Not
That
anymore.
used to be a thing. Rio
Especially for
Yeah,
foreigners.
Rio would
used
have
to
it
put
ready
in your
for you.
ticket.
Yeah.
They'd make it. When you're
Absolutely.
Yeah, not anymore.
no. it's-
Not yeah.
You got to go old school with that. All right, what else we got? Anything else?
Well, I gotta read the super chat. So
Whoa.
the Sightseeing South gave us $25. Said, so appreciative of the passionate discourse. This has been terrific.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
We appreciate you. Yeah, we got off to a rocky start. We're gonna throw Dennis under the bus later. Don't worry about it. Okay, we got him
He never
covered.
got to make
we
his
love,
phone call.
We love,
We have-
no, what
he's
phone
been
call?
trapped
He's,
at
it's
that
called
desk.
Santa. He's still in the Santa and Easter Bunny mode.
He's got important
We
stuff
love
to do.
we love Dennis, by the way. So, and if you guys you're missing out on Dennis's blog on Vegas Tycoons, YouTube.com Vegas Tycoons. If you want to see behind the scenes, actually Lauren's in this one. She made it. Did Becky make it? Becky made it in the last one. Lauren made it into this one, eating a jumbo shrimp out of
my-
Catherine's.
No. Let me tell you something about Catherine's. That was the best lobster bisque I have ever had in
It
my
was.
entire life.
We shared it, by the way.
We
Really?
shared a
We
bowl of
loved it.
lobster bisque.
We were like, screw the rest of the meal. Let's just
Oh my
work. Can we get how many lobster bisques can we get over here? It really was the best.
Oh my
And
god.
we're not just trying to tout it out.
No.
We really go out there out of our way.
And I love lobster bisque, and I've had
Yeah.
a lot of different places lobster bisque.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
It really is good.
Yeah,
no
most of it's
contest.
not
You got to go
good.
out to Catherine's
Catherine?
in Mesquite,
Catherine's in
Casablanca,
Mesquite
dude.
at Casablanca.
And they have a thing where you can go out and
yeah.
do, and you can
Yeah.
golf.
Oh.
You can go to the spa.
yeah, they have
Beautiful
package deals.
restaurant.
Oh
Beautiful.
my
You know what
God.
Casablanca used to be? So when I left Argosy, Bella Baton Rouge, I was offered a job. I was a consultant on another casino. I won't say. But I left Baton Rouge to come back to Vegas, and they were like, "Yeah, come back to Vegas. We got a job waiting for you at Players in Mesquite." That was the job. It was owned by Players. It was Argosy
Oh,
Casino.
wow.
I show up here, and it's no longer Players, but it's Casablanca. You know what I mean? Thanks for that one. And now I'm looking for a job, basically. You know what I mean? Son of a bee. Anyways, what else do we got, buddy? Because we got to end it. People got to go to work. It's just going to be
Yeah.
me sitting here.
We gotta go to work.
Yeah. All right. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna auction off our thing. And this. Look at this. Black Ben. Give me
This is a good
Black
question.
Ben.
Someone
Go
said,
ahead.
how much can you make as a dealer?
Well, we have one of the highest earning dealers in town is sitting right next to me. Let me preface this with a little bit of a rant. And a guy was asking me earlier today what was the most money you could make in Vegas back in the day. And realistically, there was a few sleeper jobs where you made your own, and some of those jobs no one knew what they made because they didn't report to the IRS.
Right.
Exactly.
The Four Queens crap tables where you could be aggressive and go out there, those guys made money. Everybody wanted. The Flamingo crap tables used to be table for table. You used to have to go through a chaise to get into the Flamingo. That was a big job. Desert Inn was great for everybody, and
DI, their
the
baccarat
DI.
room,
Yep.
probably the best
Best-
money
yeah,
in Vegas.
I agree.
or Palace
with
Court.
Yep.
Caesar's Palace, Palace Court kept their
Absolutely.
own.
Yep.
Over
Those are the
over
two.
200,000. Those
Over
two
two.
jobs
Yeah,
easily.
yeah, for
and
sure.
Alex's mom worked at Palace Court Baccarat room
Yep.
for 20
Yep.
years.
I had an aunt that worked at the Sahara in their Baccarat room for years. And you think Sahara Baccarat room? How much?
No,
did they
100
make?
Bennett, but you got Will
150
Bennett
a year.
moving people
Yeah.
through there.
Yeah.
Will Bennett. I got stories
Not
for you
only
guys.
150 a year, but most of that is untaxed,
Untaxed.
because you're not claiming
Yeah.
that much
Because
to
back
the
then
IRS.
nobody was
Not a
claiming
penny.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh no, when I first started here, people weren't claiming anything.
Nothing. They gave
Yeah.
me $1.
If tokes were low, Bennett would bring he would junket it in. He would bring his friends in, and he'd be like, "Listen, you guys better tip these dealers.
Wow.
They're having a tough
Wow.
week." And they would walk away with a $5,000 day. That would make
Wow.
up for a slow month.
Yeah.
Tropicana.
Oh,
Baccarat
Tropicana.
room. The
Oh,
Baccarat
God, I
room
wanted
there
to.
was huge at one
I
point.
tried to get in the
Yeah.
Trop. I auditioned there 20 times. I mean,
Really?
maybe 15
I
times.
bet
Maybe
you
I'm
can get in there
exaggerating.
now.
I could get
They
in
take
there
you now.
Yeah, no, 100%. They take you now, 100%.
With
All
a
right.
little juice.
Yeah, I think, I'd be good. All right, well, what was the question? Where are we? What are we doing?
That was what was the most money you could make
Mo-
back
oh,
in the day. We answered
How
it.
much have you made,
No,
Laura?
I don't go there. I'm not going there.
Oh, but let's just
I'm
say
not
there
going
are about
I do
five.
okay. I do very well.
There are 5 casinos in town that make over 100,000 a year. One of them, let's just go to a different casino that Lauren does not work at. Okay, because we're not really sure which. Well, we do know what. The MGM broke 100,000 this year.
Wow.
So they've done really well.
Very nice.
They've really owned it. They've had some great action and really busy ass pit. The MGM still has one of the biggest pits in terms of number of tables.
Oh, yeah.
When you go in there, you
Yeah,
just see it
the
stretch
place
for
is
miles.
huge.
The place is huge.
Yeah.
They've got some of the biggest of everything.
Of
There's
everything.
A lot of room in there.
They got. I mean, if you go to, yeah.
But let me tell you
It's
this.
200,000 square feet. Most
it's
casinos
huge.
are only
Huge.
100,000.
Huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's big.
Double.
But let me tell you this.
It's really
Every
big.
dealer in this town who made over $100,000 last year worked their ass off
Earned
for it.
every
Under
penny
very
of it.
difficult
Earned it.
circumstances.
Yep.
I mean, you were literally risking your life for that money at some
Oh, yeah.
point.
Yeah,
No doubt.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The COVID thing with the mask mandate,
Yeah.
it is not, I mean,
We heard some terrible stories, by the way. There are people who got
People
sick
take
or
us
got.
like we're
Yeah.
silly about these masks.
Yeah,
These
no.
dealers are scared. They're watching their
Absolutely.
friends drop
Yep.
dead.
yes, absolutely.
No.
We
Yeah.
had one in my casino that died.
Yeah.
We had a few
Yeah.
that were in the
That got
hospital
their
for a
parents
long
sick.
time on ventilators, got their parents
A
sick
lot
and
of
their
them
parents
have
died.
elderly people
Yeah.
they're
That's
taking
right.
care
I mean,
of. They're
there's no
terrified.
joke. And so many of the players don't want to wear the mask.
No.
And I get it. I don't want to wear a mask either,
Yeah,
but
we
it's a
don't,
mandate
hopefully.
and you have to. And those dealers who made that money last year earned every penny of it.
Absolutely.
All right, ready? Let's do the giveaway. Do we have any? One more question, then we gotta do the giveaway. We gotta go.
The only question I got is the best video poker casino.
Wow. Well, I mean,
there any
realistically,
difference?
there is a difference. So Payback's the only 9 to 5 machines left. I mean, besides, most places have gotten rid of it. But if you want the highest possible payback, you got to go to like a Dottie's, a Molly's, these types of taverns that have them.
There's some of
You
the
won't-
locals casinos that still have those 9.5s.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's 7.9s or whatever they are.
Yeah,
right?
but 9 to
7.9s.
5 on a full house, on a double,
So
double machine.
On a double machine.
on a double machine.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
see,
Dottie's.
exactly.
Yeah.
You got to go to a local. So here in Vegas, we have some local places that are little tavern places. There's one that's called Molly's, another one that's called
Joni's.
Joni's, Dottie's. The only thing with Joni's is they don't have the. Oh God, I can go into this forever. One of these days we'll do one on the best
Local
paybacks
places?
in town.
Oh, gotcha.
Because their machines differ in how they play and what kind of denominations you can play.
Right.
But if you play at station casinos, you got to play 2 pennies or more, believe it or not. If you play the 1 penny, you get kind of stuck with the odds. Same thing, Boyd. A lot of local Boyd properties have some great paybacks. You can find them. Some of the older machines, even at the nickel level, if you guys like to play nickels. But the higher denomination you go, usually at a local place, is the better the paybacks
That's
are.
right.
So $1, $5, stuff like this.
That's right.
Strangely enough, I've actually been to a certain casino in Florida. The $5 machine paid less. It's strangely, I don't know.
Really.
But there we go. All right, let's give this stuff away. We're going to do rants. Rants is the word. We're going to do rants. And Daniel hasn't been on this podcast. We gotta bring Daniel back, though. by the way.
Yeah.
Daniel is very well informed. We're gonna,
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, one of these days, we're going to have a show just on what kind of a casino we would build together.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta just do that.
All right, are we ready, Dennis?
Let's do rants, Dennis.
Well, I gotta wait for everyone to type rants in the
Oh,
chat.
okay, that's what I
Everybody
wasn't
just
sure
type
if they were
away
done.
Rants. Here's what we're going to give you.
Rants.
I'm going to give you 3 things. We didn't even ask for likes. We asked for nothing. Absolutely
That's
nothing.
right.
We want nothing
That's
from
right.
you. We just want to give. How hot are you? Are you pretty
so
hot?
hot.
Oh my god.
By
Look
the way,
at this.
everyone in the chat saying give her a fan.
I know I left
know.
my fan in my locker at work.
Yeah, she has a fan.
I do.
She has
but
a
it's
fan.
at work in my locker.
We have these gold foil. We call them the black bends, and they are a 2-point. It's a pet. The same thing that the pet cards. Those of you familiar with pet cards, the scratch free. Yep, these are the pet cards. Oh, fantastic! Look at that. So these are what they call pet cards. They're great for pitching. They're nice and heavy. They're also durable, waterproof, scratch resistant. They're really nice. They have a gold foil. Not a lot of gold, mind you, but it's 24 karat gold foil.
They're good for poker too because
They're great
they bend
for poker.
and then they snap right
They're
back.
heavy. They bend. They snap right back. Everybody loves them. So we've been making a market of this. People love them. But anyway, so we started making a market in these. These are on the Shop Casinoquest site. And this is more of a rarer. So there's some of these around
Show 'em the
town.
back.
But yeah, so the artistry, and this goes through a 2-part process. And the artistry is fantastic. So we have this distributor that's been helping us with those. And then we're also going to give you 2 of these that I found. These are our collectible checks for Casinoquest. These are last year's checks. But hey, if you don't have last year's checks, I have a blue one and a purple one. We're going to send that out to you. And don't forget, if our staff has missed you, please email us again. Admin at it's info at mycasinoquest.com, and please remind us. Sometimes we get a lot of emails, believe it or not, like a lot of emails. On info, we get 3 to 6 pages of emails a day.
Yeah.
And those of you who keep emailing us about your strategy, listen here, okay? We get 200 to 300 submissions a week.
Yes.
We only put out 4 videos a week. The math is just that simple.
Not quite there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm sorry, but you know.
And
It's,
the other thing about the strategies, make sure when you email us those strategies, they're clear and concise, and we can understand them. Because
Yep.
some of those strategies, I start to read if I don't understand it, we don't do it.
Wait,
So I'm
you
just
heard
saying,
it here. You heard it. All right,
if
what do
I
we
can't
got?
understand it,
All right,
we're not doing it.
Daniel, tell them when to stop.
Pardon?
You tell them when. Just say stop. 'Cause I
Stop.
think
Oh, 1 through 20.
pick
Pick a
1
number
through
1
20.
through 20.
17.
17.
17. So we got James. James, you're the winner.
James,
James,
you
all
are the
right.
winner. Fantastic.
Congratulations, James.
What's his name? Dennis with the hair. We should just call him Hair. Fantastic hair. We should call Dennis is going to email you, message you, let you know how to collect your prize. And did I finish all the plugs? If you want to be your own dealer, cqdealers.com.
I think,
CEG
yeah.
Dealers is what our
Yep.
site.
Yep.
All that, everything. Crapsy.
CasinoQuest.biz. Come see
Crapsy
us at the mall.
Crapsy is doing so great. If you haven't played Crapsy, it's free at first. It's free. There's a free version you can play forever. Crapsy.com.
Getcha.
It's a free app. You got it. If you love craps and you want to work on some strategies, it's a great free app. It works really nice on the Android phone, on mobile
Okay.
device. It's going to be available in the Google Play Store here in like just a couple days. It was slated for the 1st, and then
Great.
iOS is coming, and it's really a lot of fun. Everybody's having a great time. It did start out with a few things that needed to be corrected, but those have been corrected, and the app is a lot of fun. And if you want to see it played live before you actually download it, Alex live streams on Twitch,
right.
twitch.com/CasinoQuest Live, or twitch.tv/CasinoQuest Live.
That's right.
Wow, I can go on. We got a Discord community. Just if you're interested in being
TikTok,
part of
sir.
the community, let us know. All right, everybody's got to go. Well, people have casino jobs to get
Right.
to.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being part of our community. Thank you for being part of our experience. And there you go.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye, guys. We love all of you. Thank you so much. Bye.
And we're off to Keno to unwind.
Off to Keno to unwind and get a haircut.